The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
Why is today a special day?
Today is Talk It Out.
Tuesday? Tell me what's on your mind.
You really want to know?
Go ahead. Just let it all out.
Let it all out.
I have been fiercely depressed. I had a 3-year relationship, and we had different ideas as to what the problem was. She bought me Viagra. I bought her a treadmill. I mean, I think that's fair. I'm all about compromise. I'll eat a pill. Just get on the machine.
This is how you win a breakup. You move on first. That's like 80 points. You start dating somebody new. That's like 200 points. I was looking at my ex-girlfriend's Instagram profile the other day, which, by the way, is how you lose a breakup. She's at the Ace Hotel with the new guy. Tag the new guy. I start looking at the new guy's profile, and everything in my body is telling me to hate him. He had an awesome summer. He went to Coachella both nights. He did take time out 27 weeks ago to go to his sister's graduation. Allow me now to say congratulations, Christina.
Okay, it's showtime.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
That was I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner, performed with, I believe, off-air, Josh, you referred to them as hand farts?
Hand farts.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you what, in middle school, that was big.
Oh,
That was one of my favorite instruments, the hand fart.
Can you play it?
A little bit. Let's see.
I can't hear anything over the acid rock.
There we go.
Yeah.
That was a good hand fart, Jeff.
I used to be good at it.
I used to be good at the underarm fart.
Oh, that was a big one, too.
I never could do that.
hated that.
The armpit fart.
Never been able to do either. It's all.
Oh, that was a queef, I think. That was a hand queef.
That was a hand queef, Josh.
Yeah, I can't do it as much as I could. I don't think I've done that since 1987.
Now, the way God intended for us to release gas, I'm the best in the county.
You
without
are
a
very
doubt.
good.
But hands, armpits can't do it. What are we breaking
Yeah.
up? Are we breaking up? Is that what happened?
Is the show done?
I didn't see it coming.
I had no idea. This is a shock. I could tell you every relationship that I've been in that has ended, I saw it coming. I mean, we both did. Luckily, I never had a bad breakup. It was just more like, I don't want to do this anymore either.
Yeah, it's run its course.
You saw it coming. It was obvious.
And I remember the first time I realized, it doesn't have to be a terrible ending. Things sometimes, for no real reason, they could be great. This just doesn't work out.
Doesn't have to be terrible.
And that was a lesson I had to learn, because it seems like somebody has to do something terrible to break up. And so I stayed in a couple relationships way too long before I realized it's okay to break up on good terms.
The majority of my breakups have been amicable. But I had a couple of bad ones, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had that.
Oh, I had a couple of bad ones.
But we're all good. Nobody's leaving the show.
I didn't see it coming. I really didn't. I didn't know we were breaking up. This is one that I did not see coming. Is it because of my drinking?
No, I don't know who led this whole thing.
It's
getting out of control, Nick.
Is it because we're not sexually compatible?
Are you talking about you and me specifically?
I'm just talking out loud. It seemed like the theme was with our intro that we were breaking up, so I'm wondering what's happening.
There's only one person on this show that I would like to have sexual intercourse with, and Ashley, it's Nick.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
That's a big relief, isn't it, Ashley?
Just that little possibility that I was going to say you almost made me barf, and it has nothing to do with you. It's just our relationship.
Let me tell you something,
and the
Cubby.
giant age gap.
Let me tell you something. I'd wreck you.
And I'd let you.
I would wreck you, brother.
You would ruin him for all future partners.
All other partners
Can I tell you?
would not compare. Would not compare the way I deliver.
Can I tell you something?
In the bedroom. Go ahead. You already did say something to me this morning that was quite substantial.
I got something else to say.
Go ahead with me.
My shirt would be off.
You would.
Wow.
I would give that to you. Dang. Something I haven't given to a woman in a long time.
Now, for those of you who might not listen on the regular, that's quite a statement that Cubby just made.
Big time honor.
He never removes his shirt for sexual intercourse with anyone. The wife, the girlfriend, he never removes his shirt. You've got a little self-esteem. What's the
self-esteem.
You don't like the way you look with your shirt off.
I don't want to put anybody through that, but not to say that I want to put you through that, but I want to share something with you that I don't give to other people.
That's special. Personally, Josh, even if I was the size of a house, or if I just had just the most disgusting birthmark streaked across my chest, it looks like a dog skidded its ass across my. Even then, I would still remove my shirt because I think any man looks ridiculous naked, but with a shirt on.
Yeah, and socks.
Right.
And sometimes one leg it contains one hole of my boxers. I'm going to put them back on in 2 minutes. Might as well just leave it there wrapped around my ankle.
Even if I was the worst looking human being on earth, topless, I would still take my shirt off for intercourse. The Porky Pig look, I think, is just silly, but that's your thing, and you do what you got to do.
I'll also make some noise. I'll acknowledge what's happening.
Really?
Yeah.
And you like this is really special, a special moment. You would take your shirt off when it came to sex with me.
Yep.
And you would even vocalize a little bit because you like to be absolutely dead silent when making love. Do you not? You never make a sound.
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Yeah. Owie, things like that.
Safe word.
Why don't you make any sound? Is that also a self-conscious thing?
Probably. Again, I just think of what I wouldn't want to hear. I wouldn't want to hear me.
Has the wife ever said to you, "Are you all right? Are you still there?"
No, I don't think she cares. She's picturing someone else. So I might ruin it if she hears my voice.
Yeah.
There was an old joke that I heard years ago that was kind of funny where a dude said his wife was so silent in bed, he finally looked down at her and said, "What am I using here, a penis or a tranquilizer dart?" Anyway, welcome to
we're
the...
good? Everyone's good?
What?
So the breakup stuff, me and my girlfriend, we broke up.
You and your girlfriend?
Your girlfriend.
So now we got to set you up with a new lady?
No.
So, okay.
Hell
when
yeah,
did
we're
this
hooking
happen?
Wapple up with a new lady.
Yay!
Let's get Wapple.
Fresh meat. Why isn't anyone... Okay, now you...
Well, this sucks, because...
No, it doesn't. This is wonderful. Fresh meat.
If I could make this about me, I had came up with your couple name. Danielle and Andrew. Dandrew.
Oh,
you guys were
so
Dandrew
easy.
as a... Yeah, right. It's
so
just,
wait a minute.
It's right there in front of us.
You're the one who came up with that breakup intro because you wanted to... What?
Yeah.
You wanted to announce that you're breaking up?
Yeah, that we did break up.
Oh,
over the booze crew. It happened about a month ago.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, and everyone on the booze...
I was going to say I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I'm excited. I love this stuff.
But it's everyone on the booze cruise, they're like, "Where's your girlfriend? Where is she? We want to meet her." And I'm like, "Yeah."
So that's why you wanted to update your people.
Yeah.
Let them know. Okay, so has this been a while? I know the answer, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's been about a month.
Nice.
And then I got all my stuff out of the house, 2 weeks ago?
Oh,
and now
moving is fun. Everybody loves moving.
Oh, yeah. So much fun.
Yeah, now I'm up in Ham Lake with my brother-in-law, sister, nieces, and 7 chickens.
That's a good drive.
Hey, man, you don't sit on this great news next time. Dump it on us right. Wapple's a free man again. We get to set him up with I'll be in charge with setting you up with a new lady. I'm excited about this.
This is... you should have said this yesterday because there was 2 girls who texted in yesterday to proclaim their love for you.
What?
Yeah.
All right, I need to go back in the text message.
Yeah, scroll through.
Yeah, go through those, and you'll see. There was 2 of them. I've never had something like that. You've got a couple people on deck.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
And when I say set you up with a new lady, I don't mean a girlfriend. I mean just some new stuff. Tradesworker Jesus has texted in congratulations to Wapple. People are pumped about this.
Pumped.
Since when is this not a reason for celebration? I'm not understanding. I mean,
Well, you know, Wapple, he falls in love at the drop of a hat.
well, that's problem number one that we have to address with you.
I gotta say,
Stop falling in love.
I don't think I can do it. God, I'm
No
so
more
dumb.
Stop it. It's time
I'm
to
such
grow
a
up.
sucker.
Yeah, you are a sucker. Stop falling in love.
you've got a little experience under your belt now. You've had a couple of girlfriends. Mm-hmm. Some scary, dangerous. Others not so much.
yeah, a little bit.
But so maybe this next time you'll go a little slower.
Yeah,
Go
definitely
slow.
check out the red flags, that's for sure.
Sure, red flags. Sure, look out for those. But just stop falling in love so friggin' quickly. I'm married, and I'm not in love.
That's not true.
It takes a while, Nick.
You love your wife. We all love your wife.
I like her.
in different
we
ways.
have a decent last night. We had a few laughs, whatever. But no, I mean, forget about that love crap. Just go ahead and have a good time.
You know what you do, Wapple?
Tired of holding everyone's hand around here.
You sleep your way to being happy again.
That's what I did.
Yeah, you got to just find partner after partner after partner. and
Ba-boom,
eventually-
ba-boom, ba-boom.
Soon you just forget about it.
Yeah, you don't even
Yeah.
remember her name.
That's what people say. The best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else.
That's literally what Josh told me.
Well, this is
Yeah.
great. This is great.
Nice.
That's great news. It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, you know what?
Could be a fun summer.
You're going to be no disrespect to her whatsoever, but you're going to be fine, kid.
It's going to be a hot boy summer.
Heck yeah.
Hot Wapple summer.
Yeah.
Dude, you and I, let's walk around Lake Calhoun with a couple of iguanas, maybe like a shirt that's a little too tight for us that says a catchy phrase on it.
Well, and one of my buddies really got into weightlifting like 2 years ago, and now he's like, dude, you could come over to my house. We're gonna be pumping iron all the time.
Okay,
It's like-
settle that down also.
Yeah, you don't need to do
you
that.
know,
He's
when you
coming onto
break
you.
up, people just completely change. They,
Yeah.
He's
I
coming
can't
on you.
imagine watching you try to curl something.
Oh,
It would just
boy.
be
How
or
long
even
were-
like
look like a puppet on a string.
what's this one? The bench press.
the most basic one.
How long were you guys together?
3.5 years. Apparently, she wasn't liking me for the last 4 months, 5 months.
How's that possible?
Finally, she and I agree on something. I haven't been a big fan of yours for the last 4 or 5 months either, but everything has changed this morning with this wonderful announcement.
Yeah, this wonderful announcement. It seemed like she didn't like a lot of people. So I mean,
Yeah, that's one of the things, looking back on it.
Yeah.
I was like, boy, there was a lot of red flags there.
yeah, she didn't like a lot of people, and
Didn't like my family much. And that was what really didn't work out.
Okay, 2 things we have in common. Look,
Well,
here's the thing.
I think your bigger and better things, I think, are ahead for you. And I want to compliment you that we all, truthfully, were terrified that the two of you would break up because we thought you'd have a meltdown. And
you're not gonna flip out, are you?
Nah, there's always a chance.
There's always a chance with Wapple. That's
A
true.
couple months down the line,
Yeah.
you just lose it.
Yep.
Every once in a while, we used to predict it a little better, but every once in a while it'll shock us. It'll come out of nowhere. But you've handled this very well.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah.
pass me on her phone number, and you move on with your life, and we'll be all good.
You want to move in?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank
What,
God.
with who?
I was kind of like one of those offers where as soon as I said it, I'm
Empty
praying he'd say
promise.
no.
Yeah, I was hoping that you.
I would have
go
let
along
you.
with it.
I would have let you. Think about it. We could carpool. How fun would that
Wapple's
be?
moving in with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, you don't want that.
It smells like weed in your
Well,
house.
that's the thing. You'd have to stop smoking
Yeah,
weed.
Yep.
You're gonna burn one of your bedrooms down with a joint.
All right, I'm not living with Josh.
There'll be the sounds of violent video games pouring out of the television in the guest room. Whatever he
Yep.
does with his free time.
Oh, that's
Yep.
true.
Well, no, it'd be more headphones, so it'd
Lot
be
of,
quiet. A lot of swear words, though, for
Whacking
me.
off.
No. We
While
got a rule
crying.
on that. You can't swear.
All right, so the show isn't breaking up.
Screens off by 9 p.m. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wapple
I go to
broke
bed
up
by 8:30 now, so.
with his lady. Later on this morning, Janel Klein's going to carry her carcass through that door and
She
into
loves
our
you,
radio studios. Oh, she'll be very sympathetic.
Does she know?
No, she doesn't.
She'll be very sympathetic.
She told me a crazy story on the booze cruise. And so, we broke up before the booze cruise. And Janel Klein said the day before she had this crazy dream where I got kicked out of my landlord's house and I didn't have money, so Janel Klein ran to the bank to get me money to pay my rent.
And you didn't tell her, dude, I broke up.
I did not.
Oh.
I was just like, that was very weird circumstances.
That'll also teach you to move in with your friggin' landlord, for Christ's sake. What else is going on around here? Oh, God. All right, so...
Well, sorry to hear that, but you're going to do just fine.
Don't worry, Josh. Stop. Hey, you don't got to keep doing this, you know.
Well, I want the kid to be happy. I love the kid.
You worry too much.
That's true. I'm a worrier.
Boy, do I do too.
Just the rest of the summer, I'm dedicating my time to the Muppet over there. Drinking beer, smoking J's, chasing down chicks.
Let's get him a threesome. This is the summer of the threesome for Waffle.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to roll one of those big fat ass joints.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already found 2. Well,
and then you take a big hit, right? And you pass it to me, I'll take a little hit. Then you take a big hit.
Big hit.
And then pass it back to me, and I'll turn it down. Then you take another big hit.
Jiu-Jitsu Jesus is offering himself up as a wingman.
Ah. Yeah, where do you live at? I mean, I found some
Where
local...
do you live at?
Well, it's not like I'm not going to go down to Rosemont when I'm living up in Ham Lake or, you know.
Whereabouts you live at?
I say that sometimes, too. Where you live at?
It's cool, though, going back to some old bars, because I grew up in Lino Lakes, Ham Lake, Lino, pretty close. So it's like going back to Blainebrook, seeing all those old regulars, seeing Jenny, the bartender. Now I'm up by Route 65.
All right, so yeah, looks like you're in a decent spot for now. Dumbass Welder Jesus likes the name Andrew Klein.
That's
you and Janelle got married.
All right, so you're on the lookout for foxy ladies now. Wapple's on the lookout for foxy ladies. Ashley, who is this large-chested woman that you sent us pictures of?
That's Sydney Sweeney.
We've actually talked about her before. She hosted Saturday Night Live. It was kind of, remember that was right when she was getting big.
Oh, yes. Okay.
People love her. Yeah, she posted some new scandalous photos.
Well,
so I thought I'd send them to you.
Sydney Sweeney. Okay, this is all coming back to me now. She's a famous lady, famous for something. I don't know what.
She's an actress.
She gets a lot of crap for showing off her boobs.
Oh, she does?
I don't know that she's... that made it sound like she is topless.
Of course, everyone...
I haven't seen that, but I just mean like cleavage and things like that.
But like how do you even go about covering that?
Yeah, you can't really hide those things.
Tough to hide those warlocks for sure.
Yeah.
Those yard donkeys are hanging out there.
She's taken some new pictures. Okay, Wapple, this is... Did you give Wapple a picture of this silly Sweeney? What's her name again?
Sydney Sweeney. I didn't. I'll send you it.
I'll bring these over to Wapple. I have a series of pictures of Sydney Sweeney. Tack this up on your bedroom wall, Wapple. Well, first get your sister's permission because you're living in your sister's home now. But tack this up on your bedroom wall. This is what we're going for this summer. Roughly this right here. This Sydney Sweeney.
You know what? Shoot your shot. Dana's done that on when it was Twitter. He's done that a few times.
We're going for something like this right here. This Sydney Sweeney series of pictures.
Oh, hello.
Okay? All right. Wapple did what? Or Dana did what?
Like Anna Kendrick, right? You've pronounced your love for her several times.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, don't be a sick psycho bastard. Don't contact famous women and tell them you love them. Did you really do that?
Oh, do what?
He's professed his love.
Yeah.
You contact.
I don't tag her in the tweet. I just announced I have a big affection for Anna Kendrick.
I've seen you tag her in the tweet.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you sure have.
You mean you directly sent her a tweet and said, I love you, I love you, I love you?
It was more professing his love for her versus, sup, where you live at. Nothing like that.
Where you live.
Well, either way, it kind of creeps me out. This Sydney Sweeney is wearing a top, barely wearing a top, and it's made out of like a bandana. You see that?
Yeah.
What's your name over there, Josh?
Yeah, she sent it to me, too. Yeah, and so are her bottoms.
Yeah.
She has a nice outfit on.
So this is roughly what we're going for this summer, me and you, Wapple.
Should be easy to find, Wapple.
Yes,
Don't
very
worry about
easy.
it.
Yeah.
Well, roughly, we're not...
All right, we found a girl in a bandana.
Yeah,
Here you go.
She's a girl and she has a bandana.
Of course, we're
Good
not
enough.
we're not chasing directly after this, but something close to this.
What'd you do with all your bandanas, Dana? I haven't seen you wear one in years.
They all just kind of faded away. They just get kind of like musty and old and faded, so I just kind of chucked them. I still have a few in the top dresser drawer, but I don't wear many bandanas lately.
I do not want to smell Brett Michaels then.
What?
Brett Michaels bandana? Seems like he's had that thing forever.
Oh,
yeah, he can afford new ones.
He's got a guy that runs them through the wash every 20 minutes or something. You're no longer wearing bandanas around your skull.
No, I haven't in a few years now.
It's been a long time, yeah.
What?
I don't know. Has it really been a few
years?
I was going to say like a year or two.
I was going to say maybe a month or two.
I haven't seen him forever.
No, yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Oh, well, there you go. Everything's changing around here,
Everything's
Josh.
changing.
Everyone's going in a different direction, including me.
No, you're not. You're not going in a different direction.
I didn't have anyone to run with until an hour. Well, how long we've been? 20 minutes ago, I found out now I got someone to run with.
Fresh meat.
Yeah, fresh meat. Fresh meat. Fresh meat. Look out, ladies. It's an old guy and a young guy.
Wapple, you got plenty of Northsiders checking in via our Luther Bloomington Kia text line saying that they will be wingmen and women for you if you need it.
Yeah, you got help out there, Wapple. You'll be just fine.
He doesn't need any help. Did you just hear what we were chanting? It's an old guy and a young guy.
I'll smoke some weed, Nickel. Probably not.
I probably won't smoke a lot of weed, but I'll drink a few beers, a reasonable amount of beers. Bring yourself and your mother.
Question. You mentioned you're living with your sister. Does she have any rules for her little brother?
No, she doesn't.
Nothing. She hasn't said, you got to reel this back or
Did she say anything about bringing hoes back to the house?
Yeah, anything about whores,
No.
anything about marijuana.
Nope, none of that.
She never said, hey.
Nope.
Do you have a curfew?
No curfew. And
Does she make you sit at the table until you finish your vegetables?
No. Just last night, they all went out of town, so I have the house to myself for a good couple weeks.
So we're having a party.
Yeah, she already said, hey, you can have people over.
Hell yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can have people over.
Let's have a
Good
rager.
Lord.
You're like a real adult.
Yeah. Yep. I'm moving up.
Man, the Ham Lake Rager sounds great right now.
Dude. A lot of mosquitoes. Bring some bug spray.
I'll tell you what. It's an exciting situation we find ourselves in.
I got an uncle up there. Maybe you can hang with him.
Oh, what neighborhood are we talking about?
Ham Lake.
Oh,
I'll
yuck.
tell you what, though.
That's terrible.
Do you like political rants? Because if you do, he's your guy.
Oh, boy.
You always
That
need one
sounds
of
like
those.
a good Friday night.
I think I've gone 1 or 2 days without hearing some moron go on a political rant. I think I'd welcome one right now. All we got to do is call your uncle.
Yeah, even when you're waving the white flag and screaming, I don't care, even if you agree with him.
He'll keep going.
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot to say.
Is this the uncle that somehow claimed he was fired by Barack Obama?
No, that was somebody else.
Oh, really? That was somebody else?
Yeah, that was so good.
I thought that was also a relative of yours who claimed that Barack Obama directly fired him.
Yeah, it wasn't him. I've got a lot of that in my family, a lot of political ranters, and yeah, the connection he made.
It's incredible.
This is not a pro or anti-Obama statement.
No.
But the connection he made was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going like, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon? There was like 30 degrees here. But he connected this thing like you'd see on a CSI where they've got strings on the board. The way he got fired for something he did wrong. But he brought it all the way back to Obama. And it was just the way he presented it like, well, yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah.
A lot of folks have lost their minds.
Thanks, Obama. Oh, can we not do that? Is it too late? Do people understand that reference anymore?
I think people still
I get it. Yeah.
I don't think I understand the reference. Go ahead. Can you explain
Remember
it?
back in the day, everybody would say, thanks, Obama? No matter what?
Yeah, when anything went wrong.
For good or
right,
bad?
yeah.
I don't. I just don't.
Oh.
Let's see. Yeah, people are, there's a lot of people that want to know if you're going to be bringing on the whores. Other people want to know how hot your sister is. Other people want to know if while they're gone, if you'd rifle through her underwear drawer. Mail them a couple of panties or
When's
something.
the last time you went through your sister's underwear drawer?
Never done it.
No, you went through your sister.
No, I didn't.
Tell us when.
Never.
Why won't
he tell us when?
Yeah, I'd like to know, too. What's the age gap between your two sisters?
Me and my oldest sister, who I'm living with now, are 4 years. My middle sister is 2.
Okay, so your buddies have definitely gone through their drawers.
But I'm forgetting who's
Definitely.
oldest. Who's old? Where do you fall into the mix?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
Yep, and I'm living with the oldest.
You're
now.
living with the oldest.
Yep.
So what did you find when you went through?
I didn't go through any underwear drawers.
I'm not buying it.
You must have had a buddy that did.
Well, then he didn't tell me about it.
I can be that buddy if you want me to.
I had, I'll tell you, a friend of mine, his sister and mom were stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Oh.
And there's one particular guy that's like, hey, I went through her underwear drawer, and he would tell us what he saw in there. And we'd all gather around like Grandpa telling a story in front of a fire. Sit there and tell us everything. What did you see?
What did you find?
I remember one time, so we used to cut through his sister's room to get on their roof. They had a pool, right? And so we get on the roof outside of her bedroom window to jump in.
Jump into the pool from the roof.
Yeah, and one time, right in our path, I think she did this on purpose to mess with us, but there was like a path, like a bread trail of panties that went from her bedroom to that window, and I became a different man. This was maybe 6th grade.
She wanted you to find those panties.
I think so, to mess with us.
To torture you.
I think she wanted to mess with us, because she was, I think, a senior in high school when we were in 6th grade. It was perfect. And they had a pool, so all their friends were over all the time.
Oh, that's the dream.
I got choked out by a Navy SEAL. A lot of good times over there.
That sounds awesome.
That's probably going to happen to either me or Wapple or both when we do our Hot Boy Summer Tour this year. One of us is probably going to get choked out by a Marine.
Especially
but it'll be
if we
friggin'
make
worth
our way
it.
to Maple Lake or something. Somehow we get stuck in Maple Lake. Uh-oh.
One of us will likely get choked out by a Navy SEAL before the summer is over, but it's going to be friggin' worth it because we're going to get some.
You should. Have any of you guys been choked out by a Navy SEAL? Because it's quite an honor.
No, not yet.
I would have appreciated a heads up that it was coming, but as soon as I came to, I thought that was pretty cool.
Patriotic.
Yeah, you got to wear that like a badge of honor. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
pretty
did that.
much.
Yeah.
I'll choke you out, Josh. I will. I'll choke you unconscious.
I like it now.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Here's the deal. She's Tuesday morning. Janel Klein going to swing by a little bit later. We're going to have a lot of fun.
She'll
lot
make
of
you feel
friggin' fun.
better.
Oh, she's a very sympathetic lady, and she's also scorching hot. We got to take a break. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
You met Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now Lala and her friends share everything on Give Them Lala.
Ocean now knows the name of the baby.
No Amazon lines for that
impromptu.
one.
No. She's going to leak it.
Oh, if she tries to, I'm not letting her because she will leak the name.
And she says it.
She goes, this would look so great for baby S.
Little baby Stephanie? Stephanie? People are still guessing. The most recent was Stone.
Oh, that's the name of my son. Stone.
Stone.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, this year's becoming a problem. It's becoming a problem. For the second time in a damned month out there in India, for the second time in a month, a lady got killed dead and then swallowed whole by a big fat-ass python.
Oh, no.
Lady was found dead inside the belly of a snake. Second time in a month.
Sounds miserable. I know how I'm going to die. I'm going to choke on an apple. I eat it too fast. I take too big of bites. I don't know why I do this. I do it on the treadmill. It's stupid. I'm going to die that way.
You should
eat while
stop.
walking?
He eats while walking. Yes, he does.
Dangerous.
You do take... You take big bites.
I do.
I've
Huge
noticed
bites.
that too.
When I watch
Dana,
Mm-hmm.
that's not for you to say.
Oh, we've had many meals
can say
together.
whatever.
We've dined together.
We have.
And you take massive, obscene bites. I don't know what your problem is. Forget about apples. Fine, for life.
That's how I will die, choking on an apple.
Well, then you put them away because you don't need that fruit in your life. I just got to watch you eat a banana a few minutes ago. Stick with bananas because that was pleasurable for me.
I accidentally rested it right where my penis would be. I had set it down, and you're right. You got a show.
Just a minute ago, I was busy doing this and that, readying myself for our next on-air conversation, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw Cubby peeling a banana. I told myself, showtime. So forget about apples. Bananas where it's at for you, Josh.
Yeah, I eat those every day, too. A lot of people are saying usually it's the other way around. The lady swallows the snake. Nope, in this case, the snake swallowed the python. Or no.
The lady.
Yeah.
Poor
I
gal.
got confused.
This year, gal, 36 years old. When she was alive, she went by the name Siriata. And it's similar to a story we told you a 3 weeks ago. She had upped and gone missing a few days ago. Her relatives went looking for her.
You know, if somebody goes missing here, it's relatively safe to assume they were not swallowed whole by a snake. I mean, can you imagine living someplace where you think, well, we better check the belly of any local snake?
Yeah.
That's something that crossed my mind as well. I mean, I can't even imagine. Number one, to live in an area where such a thing is even possible. And secondly, to see a friend or family member end up dead in that fashion, that blows my effing mind.
Oh, if you cut the snake open and you see their head or something.
Oh, horrific.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm talking about.
Here we die from putting explosives on our patriotic top hats on the 4th of July.
Right. So again, this lady, she went missing. Everyone goes a-looking. Her husband, a fella called Adianza, he found her slippers and her pants on the ground not far from their house. The snake got her pants off of her? Or did she take her pants off to try to avoid the snake? He found her slippers and her pants, and then before he knowed it, there he saw the snake. And it had a wife-shaped gut. It had a big, distended lady shape. In its gut, he and some other dudes cut the bastard open, and there was the wife. That's sick.
Yeah. Like I think you said, Dana, I can't even imagine.
Second dead lady inside a month. Second dead lady eaten by a snake inside a month. Just like the last time. The story here mentions that snakes swallowing folks is rare, but not completely impossible in areas like India. In a couple of cases in the past, a year ago, 2 years ago, because it's rare, but not completely impossible. In a couple of the past cases, someone went ahead and videotaped the snake carcass being cut open.
Oh.
And then the dead body splashing down onto the ground.
I've seen that before.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead and look that up on YouTube if you like. You watched that happen?
Yes, I've seen that video.
I don't know if I could see that video.
It's disturbing.
It's pretty disturbing.
And the
as you can imagine.
And the body just went down onto the...
And I had a look on his face like, are you kidding me?
Oh.
I don't have a name to this text here, but they said, I live where the air hurts my face because of big snakes. You're right. We don't have to worry about that here like they might in Indonesia. Yeah, wife plowing Jesus says he lives in the cold Minnesota for the same reason.
Yeah, I don't want to have to worry about that. That's silly. Hey, I'm going to go out and get a case of beer. Be back in 5 minutes. No, you're not.
Yeah, hopefully I don't run into any huge snakes on my way.
No, you're not. You're not going to be back in 5 minutes because there's always the chance that a 30-foot python pulls the pants and the slippers off of you, we learned, and then it swallows you whole.
Imagine seeing the pants and the slippers and the body shape in a Python thing. Like, all right, well, maybe this is a coincidence. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's not my wife. Let's open it up to find out. Oh, shoot, it is my wife.
Some people, if they saw their spouse in that thing, might not do the shoot.
Jackpot.
All right, who wants to play Airplane Adventure?
Okay. I'll bite.
Airplane Adventure. So few people know how to behave like adults on airplane rides these days that we're able to turn it into a game. Here's your first question. So Wapple's the only one who wants to play Airplane Adventure?
I'll play.
I'll play. I thought it was rhetorical.
Rhetorical? Hey, Josh.
What?
What does rhetorical mean?
Let me Google that real quick.
Now, this Airplane Adventure was surprisingly an innocent mistake, but we're going to go ahead anyway. Here's your first question for today's episode of Airplane Adventure. A lady in China who was taking her first airplane ride ever recently had trouble figuring how things work on an airplane. She proved that by A, opening the emergency door because she thought it was the bathroom. B, she lit a fire at her feet and tried grilling some hot dogs halfway through the flight. Or C, she drank a liter of vodka all by herself and then ate a fistful of Xanax before the flight, and then she became belligerent, insulting the crew members and singing filthy songs at the top of her lungs until her coworker told her if she didn't calm down, she would likely go to federal prison.
That is oddly specific.
Yeah, that sounds really familiar.
Sounds like some guy I know, actually.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with A, though.
I'm going to go with B.
Wapple says A, opening the emergency door. Ashley says B, she lit a fire at her feet and tried grilling up some wieners. Wapple is correct. The answer is A.
That would have been much cooler if it was the hot dogs.
Unable to read?
Yeah.
Or is this the only plane that doesn't have exit written on it?
Well, yeah, and it would say like emergency exit and then every different language possible.
And those doors aren't easy to open. It's not just like a handle like going into the bathroom.
This is the most complicated bathroom door of all time.
She was a big woman. She was a big woman. She had a lot of heft behind her. The answer is A. She opened the emergency door because she thought it was the bathroom. Now, from what I understand here, this was before the airplane had even left the ground.
Yeah, it was on the ground.
Which I don't know if that makes it better or worse. So it's the gal's first ever plane ride. She's got to take a squeege. Instead of cracking open a bathroom door, she doesn't know which door is which. She accidentally opens the emergency exit side door type of gimmick that they have there. The emergency slide thing goes shooting out the side of the plane like it does, and the flight had to be canceled before it even got started.
Yeah, I've heard it's tough to get those slides back in once they're ejected.
Yeah.
Boom! The sumbitch goes shooting out the side of the... Now, Josh, is saying my bad to everyone else on the airplane, is that going to cut it?
Hey, I think so. Sure, you'd understand.
Hey, my bad.
Oops.
Yeah. The embarrassment this lady must have felt, it had to have been damn near overwhelming.
Yeah, that would be... I felt overwhelmingly embarrassed about far less embarrassing things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There she goes. I got to take a leak, you know.
I would never fly again.
I got to take a leak. No one thinks much of it.
I'd move out of China. I think I'm out.
She pops open the friggin' side door, and that's it. Everyone had to spend the night, you know, in a hotel. They couldn't get another flight wherever the hell they were going. This here might make her feel better. It says here, incidents involving the opening of emergency doors and the deployment of emergency slides are quite common. I don't know if that makes her feel any better. But she does have to pay for her F up. Around $30,000, Ski.
Oh, man.
Because of what? Pulling the wrong lever on the wrong door is going to cost her $30,000 worthy.
I wonder... I mean, does it really cost $30,000 to roll that? I suppose maybe they lost some bucks on some, canceling flights and all that stuff. $30,000.
That's probably what it is. It's the fact that they had to, they fueled the plane up for no reason. I don't know, but yeah, something like that.
My stepdaughter's boyfriend is he's training to be a pilot, and they got to go down one of those slides right as part of their training. I thought that would be pretty cool.
Was it as much fun as it?
He enjoyed it.
I feel as if once you got down at the bottom of the slide, you would say, "That's it."
Well, if it was the state fair, you just go get a big ear of corn or something like that when you go down a big slide.
Similar to going down the giant slide at the state fair on a damn gunny set. What do you call that again? A burlap sack.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, wee, okay, well, that was it.
I was just going to say, so could you get reprimanded if you went wee down the slide in the training?
I'll ask.
I wonder if that's frowned upon.
You might get a call sign you don't like too much.
Yeah,
Maybe
because
they give you a dumb nickname.
My buddies used to work at Valley Fair, and they would be the people that rode the ride for the first time of the day. And apparently you couldn't scream or yell or do anything on the ride.
You couldn't get excited?
No.
That would be a crazy job to have. That's terrifying.
I never want to be the first person.
Wait. What do you mean? You weren't allowed to scream and yell? Why?
Like for the first time of the day, they have someone test the ride, and they were not allowed.
The expendables, they call them.
Yeah, they were not allowed to put their hands up. Or
well, put your hands up. Yeah, that's against the rules.
Yeah, you can't do any of that.
Yeah,
apparently,
don't break the
test
rule.
it.
I'm sure you could probably scream and say "we."
I put my hands
they
up
said
on
they couldn't.
Big dips in the road.
Your friends are morons. They were being pranked, I think. Why would they not allow you to say "we" and scream on the?
One of them got they got let go because they yelled on. What was it?
They
Wild
fired.
Thing. Yeah.
Fired? Are you sure? There must have been something else.
There's something else going on here, Wapple.
Yeah,
that's what I was told.
Well, you better talk to these guys.
Remember earlier we were talking about the person in my life who blamed Barack Obama for him getting fired?
Right.
Now, he didn't work at the White House. He didn't have any political job whatsoever.
You can keep running your mouth, Wapple, but I would still like to receive free passes to Valley Fair someday. So you go ahead with your anti-Valley Fair rant about how your buddies who were fired.
Someone just texted in and said that they worked on rides at Valley Fair. You can't scream or get excited because you're supposed to listen to the ride.
Why are you anti-Valley Fair?
Because you're supposed to listen. That makes sense.
Why are you going after?
Sure, you hear like any loose bolts or something running.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you're a clink that shouldn't be clinking.
Well, then, if I heard a clink that shouldn't be clinking, and I'm on the name a roller coaster, the corkscrew, I'll be screaming. I guarantee you, I'll be screaming.
That clink shouldn't be clinking.
All right, we're playing a game called Airplane Adventure. Wapple's got 1 point on the day. He got the first one right. Here's question number 2. Right here in the States, a dude got himself arrested for unleashing which bodily fluid in the aisle of the airplane?
And then when you answer, I'll tell you my favorite bodily fluid. Go ahead.
Okay.
Can we get a top 3, Josh?
Yeah, and you might be surprised the order.
Dude got himself arrested for unleashing which bodily fluid in the aisle of an airplane? A, semen. Wapple, do you feel like the answer might be semen?
I was gonna even make a call before. I was gonna go semen before you gave the answers.
I love it when he feels things.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me that you were going to release semen so quickly. That's kind of your MO.
A, semen. B, watery diarrhea.
Oh.
We've seen those videos, haven't we?
C, urine. D, blood. Or E, all of the above.
Oh no!
Who would like to?
D, blood.
I'm hoping it's all of the above.
I want A.
Ashley says D, blood. Dana says E, all of the above. Wapple, you're
sticking with semen.
With semen?
Sticking with semen. Gross. And it sounds like a podcast
Yeah,
we
it
could
does.
start.
Medical podcast.
The answer is C, urine. This was on an airplane ride. An airplane ride from Manchester, England to Boston. Dude got out his little pee-pee, and he took a whiz-bang in the aisle of the airplane. Nothing we haven't heard dozens of times before. A 25-year-old kid got himself arrested for that. Sorry, all of your answers were great, but you were incorrect. Correct answer is urine. The dumb bastard who hauled it out for everyone on the airplane and then took a little pee-pee. He told the cops after he was arrested, he told the cops that he, quote, likes to have Jack and Cokes.
Isn't that your thing, Ashley? Or
It used to be.
Not anymore?
Nah.
And he admitted he had a pile of them before the plane ride started. Oh, he had a pile of them. That's the end of today's version of Airplane Adventure. We'll return with this game in the future, I promise you.
That was fun.
I'm glad you liked it.
I won.
That's why you liked it.
Yes.
Good for you,
Yes,
Waffles.
yes.
That was a weak bell today. We got to get a new bell.
Oh, no, I was just taking it easy.
Oh.
I feel like sometimes I overdo it.
The bell?
Yeah.
Well, that's usually when it's Wapple that overdoes the bell. You've yelled at Wapple before.
He sucks at the bell.
I'm terrible.
It's very loud and it goes on forever.
Especially when I get excited to ring it.
That's why I have it today.
Yep.
Good idea.
I'm going to pass it over to Wapple. Here you go, Wapple.
Don't do it. I'm already getting excited.
No, I'm just going to put it next to you. You can run the bell for the rest of the day. We got a hell of a deal.
I don't trust him. I'm going to hide it behind the printer over here.
Oh. We got a hell of a story cutting loose in a small town in Georgia. The town is up in arms. I mean, up in... They've been torn to shreds over a viral video. But I would like to see this video. I would. It's a video of a guy. You follow so far?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is a video coming out of a small town in Georgia. It's a video of a guy at the local Mexican restaurant, and he's drinking a margarita out of a girl's ass.
Oh. Not where I was expecting the margarita to be drinking from.
Nope.
The town, and I'd like to visit, it goes by the name of Waycross, Georgia. The little old Mexican restaurant in town is called Rodeo. And it's a popular joint, they say. Now, I haven't seen the video. Josh, did you see the...
I saw it, just still photos. I didn't see the video.
Oh, correct. Can you send me those? I was dying to see this video, and I don't know how to run computers terribly well. I couldn't find it. I couldn't get it to work.
I didn't actually look for the video. The pictures, I didn't want to see it, but the pictures were enough.
Oh, I'd love to see
the gist. I could look for the actual video for you.
Oh, whatever.
It was on.
Pictures will be fun. I'm going to go over to my Gmail then, and I'm going to wait the pictures of this man drinking a margarita out of girl's ass.
I saw, okay, it looks like the Facebook post that I saw it has been taken down.
Oh, what does that mean for me? Does that mean I can't see the photo?
We'll have to Google it.
God, help us. Okay. In the video, there's a young lady bent over with her ass out of her pants.
Good start.
Some dude is there, and in one hand, he's got a funnel. He does. But then apparently he ditches the funnel, and he pours a pitcher of margaritas directly on her bottom, and he uses his mouth to drink it up. He does.
Now that's funnel. Sorry.
Oh, come on, Wapple! Wapple!
I told you, I got excited.
Pickle Rick wants to know if he was drinking a diarrhea.
Stupid. That was stupid, Pickle Rick.
That was better than what I had.
Diarrhea. It's dumb. So the little town here of Waycross has come uncorked over this. Everybody's gone ahead and jumped on Facebook to give their opinion on this margarita salad toss. And here are some of the comments for you. One local gal was simply worried about E. coli being spread around town. E. coli. Is that how you get E. coli? By tossing salads?
I think so.
Yeah, poopy stuff.
think that's the one and only way you can get it.
Another local man says everyone that was on the clock that night should be fired.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
No one from his family will ever stop by or visit the restaurant if this is the kind of conduct that's allowed to happen, and the police should have been called.
Oh, and I'm sure that guy was a regular up until now. He and his family.
yeah.
Sounds like someone needs to get laid.
I've seen some things at restaurants before. We've mentioned how Fat Tuesday, back when it was at the Mall of America, was lawless.
Oh, God, I love
the
those
week
stories.
of Mardi Gras. Lawless.
You witnessed oral sex.
I witnessed an oral sex race on the bar. A bunch of girls lined up, and guys were going for it and to see who could make a girl orgasm first. And they were warned, they were begged by the police, please, there's kids, put up some banners at least. And they just said, no way.
Put up something.
Yeah, just block the windows. They did 1 year, at least 1 year, and but they got shut down.
So I can.
You know what? I don't know why they closed. They closed, but it was wild. It was wild.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, we
I
had promotions there, and
I didn't see what you saw, but I certainly saw boobies at the joint once or twice. Yeah, they just needed to cover up the windows.
Windows on both sides. You know, on the other side at the time was Camp Snoopy.
Yeah, there's
a kid on the water ride learning a lot about sex. Right. Some questions for the parents.
Different kind of water sports.
You're right.
Some gals' jugs are just blasted up against the glass window, right? And while she's being this or that.
Yeah. Is he giving her the Heimlich maneuver?
Yeah.
Why is he so close behind her?
A 7-year-old is on the Flintstones roller coaster. So I can or cannot see pictures of this, Josh, because it's killing me. It's killing me.
The Facebook post I saw has been taken down, so I'll be honest, I was too lazy to Google it.
Okay. Here's more comments from folks in the neighborhood. Local Mexican restaurant, small town in Georgia. Guy drank a margarita out of a girl's ass. And the people in the neighborhood are reacting on Facebook. One local gal says, I am far from prude. Far from it. Far.
Sounds like you might be with that opening sentence.
Well, that's true.
I see what you mean. Here's what she says. I'm far from prude, but I how does she say this? I have never been more disgusted in my life. People acting like animals. I will be taking my business elsewhere, she says.
No, you won't.
No.
But other folks are already making merchandise to capitalize on the video. I saw a hat online, and on the front of the hat it says, I got my margarita mudslide at Rodeo Mexican Restaurant in Waycross, Georgia. The folks at Rodeo are trying to say all the right things on social media to clear up their image, so whatever. You know, some folks in town are cursing them, others are signing up to go there on friggin' spring break, so, you know, what can you do? There was an incident, wasn't there, Josh?
There was an incident. I'll be honest, I don't want to see that anymore. If I was at a restaurant, I might turn my head and think, okay, that's a little ridiculous, but I can't imagine going online and writing a scathing review, especially if the tacos are good.
I will change my order from the roast beef.
Oh, my God.
You know where I saw some things?
Gross.
I saw some things similar to what you were talking about, Josh, on one of our horrible, terrible, unnecessary trips that we used to take here with the radio station. We had to go here, we had to go there. We're broadcasting from this place and that and this and that. One of those where all the models were hanging out. What was that joint called?
That was the Cuervo Nation.
British Virgin Islands?
Was it the British? It was the Isle of Tortola.
Tortola.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're familiar?
Yeah. That's where a lot of pirates and stuff would hang out.
Pirates?
Oh.
What do you mean, like in the movies?
I think in real life.
In real life?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go on a wild anti-Cuervo Nation rant the way Wapple went after Valley Fair earlier. Nothing against the folks from Cuervo. What do they call that hooch?
Jose Cuervo.
Jose Cuervo. They hooked us up. This is 20 years ago, if not more than that. After hours, after Cubby went Seepies, because Cubby would go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Not the first year, but the second year.
Second year.
Remember the second year I was the party animal? After it was just one night. I had one night of getting wasted.
Yeah.
I had this reputation of being Mr. Party
Suddenly
guy.
you were John Belushi.
Yeah.
You know. So Cubby went to bed early, and some of these models, they got full of that tequila, and there were where I'm going with this, because the story was a guy drinking a margarita out of a girl's ass. There were a lot of body shots happening out of places where your traditional body shot, you might drink a little booze between the gal's boobs, maybe a little bit of something out of her belly button. There were different spots being used as...
Really?
What's the word I'm looking for?
Like a booze canoe of sorts?
Oh, dude, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's intense.
You're not kidding about models, though. The first year they had some. The second year they really stocked that island with models.
Hot mamas.
Yeah, just to make it that much more enjoyable.
Foxy ladies.
I've always been curious about those live broadcasts, right? Certainly, a lot of them listeners can join us. But does anybody at home care?
No.
I'm trying to think oh wow, they're in Jamaica or they're whatever.
Nobody cares.
No.
I hated those trips. I did. And I've gotten my balls busted by my friends before when I've bitched about these stupid trips that we had to take. Oh, sounds rough having to go to Jamaica and go to... I have zero interest in that kind of thing. Zero. I know the majority of people think, yay, I'm going to a hot place with a beach. I don't give two pumps about those places. Not a bit.
I know exactly what you're saying, because you do feel like a douche saying, God, I wish I didn't have to go to Jamaica, the British Virgin Islands, whatever, but it's just not our thing.
I would
give that away in a heartbeat, whoever wanted it.
I could be guaranteed a trip to Jamaica for a week every year until the day that I die. I would give it away and go to Corcoran. I would.
I'm the exact same way.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'd go to the North Shore or something.
So there was one situation where all these body shots were being done out of interesting places, and I'm sure you can guess where. And then I thought, well, I've had enough. I'm full. Time to go back. Bedtime. And I'm walking back to the little cabana that I shared with Cubby. I remember when I got in bed that night. Oh, you were so warm.
I sleep hot.
And you had the air conditioning just bombing. There was so much air conditioning. I was freezing, and it felt so good to snuggle in next to you because you were so warm. But before I got into the cabana, one of these models, she grabbed some other radio guy, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this guy a BJ over here." And I said, like Wapple does to us sometimes off air, I said, "Okay."
Not before I do.
I said, "Good night. Have fun with the BJ." Don't get me wrong. I was a little upset that I wasn't the one that was selected for the... And then she said, "Well, where are you going?" Well, I said, "Well, I'm going back. I'm going to bed. Cubby's waiting in the cabana. I'm going to snuggle in. I'm going to bed." And she said, "Well, you could watch and, masturbate."
Oh, that's a nice offer.
I've never been offered something like that.
And I said, "Yeah, no."
You were good on that?
Yeah. I mean, maybe if I would have known the guy a little better. I didn't know him at all.
I might take that offer up just on an everyday situation.
Oh,
let's say I was getting an oil change, and the guy's like, "Hey, you can watch and you can masturbate." I'm not sure the Jiffy Lube brass would approve, but since you did offer.
You're right. I mean, wait a minute. What were you right about?
It's not much. I know it's tough to figure.
I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, yes, and now I know where I was going. Dana, you're right. That was a nice offer.
Mm-hmm.
And today, I would take it in a heartbeat.
No, you wouldn't. You're married.
I would take that offer in a heartbeat.
You would not take that.
Yes, I would. Stop trying to marry shame me.
Is that what I'm doing?
You know what you're doing? You're relation shaming. Wait, is that, you're relation shaming me.
I'm sorry. You're right.
I can masturbate when I want to.
All right. You know what? I was taking the rules of my marriage and applying them to you, and that's unfair.
No, it's okay, Josh. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to help me. But at the time, yeah, I did. I'm not going to, I don't know this guy. So I just went to bed next to my old pal. At the time, we were new pals. But the bond was quite tight from the get-go. Wasn't it, Josh?
It was. Very quickly.
I have another story about urine, but I don't want to make us run late. Let's see. Oh, no, this one won't take long. More urine has made its way into today's Stupid News Report. Let's find out together where it ended up this time. Ohio says here, in Ohio, a customer urinated all over about $500 worth of sandwiches at a deli counter.
Oh, ew.
Well, what the hell's the matter with you?
Perfectly good sandwiches.
And he got away with it. The cops are still looking for the prick. And it also sounds like here to me that he's a damned senior citizen. Come on. Granddad? Security video shows this old-timer peeling his broken down carcass up off of his electric shopping cart, right? You've seen those go up and down the aisles?
Yep.
Always kind of wanted to try one out.
I have, and it's awesome. He picks his carcass up off of his electric shopping cart, and then he lets loose with the whiz all over a rack full of sandwiches. And I suppose maybe I'll give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he couldn't help it. You know, we're all headed in that direction. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he had no idea where he was, what he was doing. I on one of those trips, I peed in a closet, and I sure thought I was peeing in a toilet.
Well, but you had 42 drinks in you.
That was a lot of tequila shots. You're right.
Store employees found old class of 1953 urine all over the sandwiches on the at the shop there. No one saw him take a whiz, I don't think, until they fired up the security cameras, and then, oh, Christ, look what he's doing.
Oh, right in the sandwiches.
He got pee all over the floor. He got it all over that shopping cart he was riding around on. So, again, I don't know. Maybe he's an idiot, but also, you know, he was old, so maybe he didn't know what the hell was going on.
Ah, man, that would suck. You're at the grocery store, you roll up to the sandwich section, you're getting yourself some lunch, and you realize they're all covered with pee.
Here's what
pee on this one, pee on that one too. Shoot, they're all peed.
Here's what it says. Okay, 65 sandwiches had pee on them. 30 of them had to be thrown out.
Are you serious?
What?
We've got a special today on PB and J. Here it is.
Buy one, get one.
65 had urine. 30 of them had to be thrown out. That's a shame. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the program.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
This is a PSA to all you non-Astro fans out there. When Jose Altuve gets beamed by a pitch, I don't care if you boo Jose Altuve when he comes to the plate. I actually encourage you to do that because he hits better when you do. When he gets hit on the wrist or the face or wherever the he got hit by and you cheer, you're an asshole. There were Twins fans out here in the bleachers, in these very bleachers, who cheered when Jose Altuve got hit, and I looked at them and I glared at them and they glared back. The Twins are a pathetic poser of a team. If you're going to cheer when Altuve gets hit, just stay for the rest of the game. That's all I ask, regardless of what the score is. Stay for the rest of the game. If you leave, you're a chump. Thanks for having us, Minnesota.
Basically, you have little man syndrome.
Yeah, you know what that was there, by God, I'll tell you. A couple of Houston radio guys were in town for the series over the weekend between the Twins and the Astros, and Dinkus there, he was upset that Twins fans cheered at Target Field when Jose Altuve got hit by a pitch.
He sure did seem pissed, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Come
very
on.
passionate.
Nobody likes the guy. That's just the way it is. He and a few of his teammates brought that on themselves. It's not going to go away. You know, called us clowns and a-holes. The Twins are a pathetic poser of a team.
Okay.
This dude is just burned out on the Astro hatred, and he's lashing out. That's all this is. Yeah. Your favorite team effed up bad, and a few of them showed zero remorse for their actions. And my memory is that Altuve and the other guy, Bregman, showed zero remorse for their actions. Mm-hmm. They acted as if they were sorry they got caught. Mm-hmm. They acted as if they were too big, too special to be bothered with cheating allegations. Oh, you're going to accuse me? I'm Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman. You're accusing me? And the guy in this, he wrote a long article. He also says, well, what's the difference between Carlos Correa?
I knew he would bring that up.
We are currently cheering for Carlos Correa. Well, here's the difference in my mind. I remember Carlos Correa acting remorseful. And that's all.
He apologized.
That's all that a lot of people wanted out of this situation. So sorry, dude. Nobody likes the guy, Jose Altuve. Nobody. And some never will. Suck it up. This is the way it is.
The only people that like him are Astros fans.
Yeah.
Right. You got to just suck it up, Astros fans who get butthurt by all the booing and this and that. Nothing's ever going to change.
It's fun going to a Twins game and finding like your fellow Astros haters, because you can always find your people if they're still gonna boo when they're up and such.
I like the commitment to booing.
Yeah, I love it.
I like it when it just goes on and on and on.
And I get it. Oh, you're cheering when he could be injured. He was going to be fine. It's not like he took one to the jaw, for Christ's sake. He took a pitch to the hand. He's going to be fine.
The best, Josh, is when they're the only person booing.
Well, then it's a little different. But it's just one person.
Like the only one in the section. He's hanging on to it, though.
Yeah, I like it when, if a player, he touches the ball and the whole crowd starts booing. And they do it every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, there's some fun. It's fun. It's part of being a fan. Oh, real quick now, I got to get out the way. Last night's Twins game with the White Sox was a damned adventure. The two clubs went back and forth and side to side. She went extras. And the Twins scored twice in the 11th to win 8-6. We're going to talk to Dick Bremer. In about a half hour. I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks. We'll talk Twins baseball. Jose Miranda named the American League Player of the Week. Not a tough decision for whoever makes those selections.
That's an easy one.
Not a tough decision this week for American League Player of the Week. Josh's News is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Let's get into season 4, episode 21, Forever.
Is there a button we can hit that just skip
I know.
this one? Just
what I'm surprised about, and I don't think there's anything he could have done, but James Marshall directed this, and he's directed so many great episodes.
It's collecting the paycheck.
This would have been an epic episode if somehow it was Lex Luthor's high school experience and graduation.
Binge seasons 1 through 4 of Talkville before season 5 begins, wherever you listen. Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Like, I almost don't believe it. He seemed like a really nice guy. I couldn't see it happening because he was really nice. The fact that he was in a random Walmart recording people is just wow. Like, I almost think, did they get the wrong guy?
A convicted peeping Tom in Texas is at it again. And this time he's accused of punching a cop who tried to bring him to justice. Police in Irving said that at 12:31 p.m. last Monday, they got called to a local Walmart for an officer assist call. Off-duty but uniformed, the officer who needed help learned from security that 41-year-old Kevis Hollard was taking photos up women's skirts.
He was?
So he tried to detain Holland. But as he placed a handcuff on his left wrist, the defendant turned around and began striking the officer's face. Security camera video showed each time the defendant struck the officer, the loose handcuff also struck him, causing a laceration to the top of his scalp.
Oh, yeah, that'll take you out right now.
Oh, I bet that hurts a lot.
A handcuff upside the head?
Yeah, ouch. The officer fell to the ground and dropped his taser, which Holland picked up and pointed at the officer, but apparently didn't fire. Holland was charged with similar peeping Tom crimes before. He pleaded guilty in 2017 to taking phone video up the skirts of two separate women in March and April of that year. Circle back to 2024, he's in trouble again. He turned himself in last Tuesday.
And you played audio. Everyone in his neighborhood is shocked by this because he was such a nice guy?
I guess so, at least that gentleman.
You're a pretty nice guy.
Oh, that would be the worst thing.
What do you mean? If you learned that Josh was a peeping Tom?
I would never trust anybody ever again.
Wouldn't shock me at all. I've seen it happen before.
It would ruin me.
I'd want to know what's wrong with me.
The nicest guy in town usually is a sick sumbitch.
Well, I'll tell you what. I can guarantee I won't be taking upskirt photos because I can't get down that low anymore. And it'll take me a while to get back up, and I get lightheaded.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I will not be taking any upskirt photos. An Ohio police chief is out of a job after the village council fired him because his office reportedly smelled of marijuana, and also because he was falsifying timesheets. The village council for New Miami, a small town of about 2,200 people outside Cincinnati, unanimously voted to terminate Chief Harold Webb late last month. Mayor Jewel Hensley outlined the allegations in a letter. Hensley alleged that Webb only reported to duty twice over a 2-week period starting June 2nd, but when he turned in his time card, he claimed he worked 48 hours. When Hensley, along with Councilman Ken Flick and Matt Stevens, went to confront Webb about his information on June 20th, he said he had worked those hours, but hid his patrol car in the garage from the mayor because he saw this coming and wanted to make a statement. Hensley said she asked whether the job was too much for him, considering he worked full-time with the Postal Service and had a family, but Webb insisted he could perform his duties. A few hours later, the chief contacted Hensley and told her to meet him in his office, which is where the weed part of the story comes in. The first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Who's been smoking weed in here? The smell of marijuana could knock you off your feet," Hensley wrote. When ordered to take a drug test, the chief refused. He later texted the mayor and stated she, quote, won, and he would submit his resignation. But the village board voted to fire him on June 27th. They wouldn't even let him quit. The mayor said the mayor and Webb have been feuding for months. Earlier this year, she accused him of failing to respond to 911 calls and stealing hot dogs from a gas station.
Oh. This guy sounds like a problem. I knew a guy once who was fired for falsifying his time card. Now, it wouldn't be surprising these days, but it was surprising back in 1995 because he didn't think he should have been fired for that. Not surprising. I don't think any of us would be surprised to hear that these days because everyone is so self-absorbed and just has, all kinds of ideas of what they're owed, right? Everyone's so entitled now. But back in 1995 or whatever, it was still surprising for someone to... He was punching in, he was having another coworker punch him in when he wasn't there and, leaving early and having someone keep him punched in. You see, you know how the gimmick works, right?
So, yeah, not even like here when you're a part-timer, or at least it used to be you filled out a time card. Right?
Oh, yes.
So this you actually had to punch. That's even worse.
Sorry, yeah, maybe I wasn't clear about that. It was a time card type thing where you punch in and out. He didn't think that, I still to this day, I can't believe it. He didn't think he should have been fired for that.
Do you remember his reason? Just like, was it just, hey, that's not that big a deal? Or
I wish I could remember. It was along the lines of it's not that big a deal, or he only did it a few times.
Yeah. Everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
It was just so amazing. You really don't think you should be fired for that, huh?
A sinister plot to kill a famous British woman was discovered and prevented thousands of miles away here in Minnesota. Gavin Plum was convicted last month of planning to kidnap and murder Holly Willoughby, a popular British television personality. Police in Essex, outside of London, say Plum carefully planned the attack for years.
Gavin Plum is a dangerous, predatory individual who was intent on causing the most serious harm to his victim. Today, Gavin Plum remains where he belongs, behind bars.
The investigation into Plum began in Minnesota. In an online chat, he solicited an undercover officer in Owatonna to commit the kidnap and murder.
He's in England, and he contacted someone in friggin' Owatonna to kill an English person.
Well, it's just an online dude to kill. It's just like an online thing, right? So he's like, I want to kill this lady, and he goes online to find someone to do it, and it was an undercover cop in Owatonna. In an online chat, he solicited an undercover officer to commit the kidnapping and murder. The cop contacted both the FBI and British police.
We're extremely grateful to our law enforcement colleagues in America who not only brought Gavin Plum to our attention, but helped gather the vital evidence that secured his conviction.
The officer...
it's just like us Americans to save the English's ass again, isn't it?
We'll do it one more time.
We'll do her again if we have to.
The officer anonymously testified in the trial last month over video, telling the jury he uses various fake identities in his online social media investigations. One of those identities, he went by Nick Danger.
Oh,
he said he looks...
Really?
In Tijuana, Josh.
Oh, both of them.
He said he looks for instances of human trafficking and kidnapping and encountered Plum in a group called Abduct Lovers.
Whoa, that sounds like a dark group of people.
Yeah.
Does that sound evil to anybody else?
Yeah, a
or is
little
it
bit.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar with this famous lady that he was trying to kill?
I had never seen her before.
No.
I saw like a lot of videos, that she had done. I mean, just because of the story, but I'd never heard of her before.
Copy.
A search warrant revealed a former North Carolina school resource officer is under investigation for allegedly tasing a middle school teacher for fun. 26-year-old Danya Jersey Tavares, who resigned from her post in April, is accused of tasering the teacher between October and November. However, it wasn't reported until last month.
The teacher asked Tavares what the taser was, and Tavares responded by saying, quote, "I am going to tase you with it." The teacher responded by saying, "No, you're not." Tavares repeated, "I am going to tase you with it."
This was a little kid or
No, you're not.
No, this was a police officer, a school resource officer who tased a teacher.
Oh.
Tavares then proceeded to demonstrate the taser's functionality on the teacher's left hip. The teacher screamed and claimed she was in pain, which prompted Tavares to offer a peculiar justification, noting, "I've tased kids around here before, and they didn't act like that." The teacher inquired if she really did tase middle school students, to which she suggested she had. Following this revelation, the teacher reported the incident to the principal, leading to an investigation by the district attorney. Despite the seriousness of that investigation, a peek into Tavares' tenure at the school via the police department Facebook page paints a picture of a beloved figure known as Jersey. The investigation is ongoing.
See, again, she was nice. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't trust the nice people.
A man from the Boston area is facing charges after an apparent case of bus stop location rage. Transit police said the man smashed the front windshield of a bus with a glass jar because he was angry he could only board the bus at a designated spot.
Oh, that is infuriating.
Since when is that how it works?
Right. What do you mean? I can only get on the bus at the friggin' bus stop?
Are you serious? Police say the man was also in possession of controlled narcotics.
That is terrible that they make you get on the bus at the bus stop.
A 15-year-old schoolgirl in Australia has been hailed a hero for steering a bus carrying 25 students to safety when the driver suffered a heart attack last Monday about 3:20 p.m.
Oh, God.
Witnesses said the driver cried out and grabbed his chest, then became unresponsive. The quick-thinking student, who was sitting in the front seat, grabbed the steering wheel and guided the bus into traffic lights to avoid another vehicle at a busy intersection. Queensland Ambulance Service Senior Operations Supervisor John Nolan said her brave actions saved the 25 students from serious harm as she steered the bus away from busy traffic.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but she was sitting in the front seat, so you know she's a nerd.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, that's true.
Yep. The kids in the back
Loser.
seat would have been too cool to help the bus driver.
Yeah, they want to see a crash.
How's that bus driver who had the grabber?
They didn't say in the
What
story.
the hell?
They didn't say. In a daring rescue over the 4th of July holiday weekend, a Massachusetts teen leapt from a jet ski he was riding onto a runaway boat on New Hampshire's largest lake.
I could do that.
After the driver fell overboard. Is our website working? Is this up there?
I believe it is.
Okay. Yeah, our website has been giving us some heck. The boat was zooming around uncontrolled without a driver after the driver was knocked out of the boat unexpectedly. With the boat dangerously continuing to circle the busy lake with its motor running, the 17-year-old, who was on the back of a jet ski, was somehow able to hop onto the spiraling watercraft and get it under control.
He jumped on his boat, told me to get on the jet ski to go get the kids out of the way. It just came to me. I didn't really think. I just did it.
Though there were multiple children in sailboats and other vessels docked nearby, thankfully no one was injured nor any property damage.
If that boat was circling like that, it could have hit somebody. I'm realizing what I did a little bit. It scared me, but it was fun.
It was later learned that the boat's operator, a sailing instructor, had reached into the water to pick up a tennis ball used for teaching when one of the student sailboats tipped over. The sailboat's mast hit the motorboat's throttle, sending the instructor overboard and the boat into a spiral.
That instructor's going to hear it from the other guys.
Heck yeah. Hey, can you teach us that trick? In a fitting twist to the story, the 17-year-old is set to join the U.S. Navy this fall.
That's really cool. Cool kid.
A late-night bike crash on July 4th sent a boy to the hospital after strangers rushed to help free him from being pinned under an SUV involved in the incident. Is this video up?
No, this one isn't.
Okay,
What the hell?
According to Maplewood Police, around 11 p.m. on the holiday evening, the child was struck at the intersection of White Bear Avenue North and Highway 36. The boy had been biking southbound with his father, crossing the intersection, when an SUV entering west on Highway 36 struck him, exiting west, pinning both him and the bike underneath the SUV. Minnesota Department of Traffic Management cameras captured the action as the boy's father and bystanders rushed into action and were able to lift the vehicle together to free the child, who was then transported by medics to a hospital. That's pretty. It was, for me at least, it's a pretty emotional video, knowing what was going on.
You got emotional?
I sure did. Yeah. So hopefully our kids
happens
be
all
okay.
the friggin' time to you. Now.
Lately, yeah.
Typical Josh.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Everything makes him cry now.
Yeah, choked up. Haven't fully cried yet. Just get a little choked up. Verklempt, you might say.
It's all right to cry, Josh. It's all right.
But even yesterday, I thought, it's a terrible thing what happened, but I thought, do I have to do this at every video
No,
now?
you don't.
Real men cry.
You need to get a grip.
I know I do.
Come on.
Now available on demand.
Oh, look at him. He's tearing up already.
Space Sharks.
Even Space Sharks has the kid tearing up over here.
A military experiment conducted on a space station. I just can't imagine being in that situation. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
This too, Space Sharks. I can't imagine being in that situation.
What is Space Sharks?
Well, it's about a military experiment conducted on a space station, which goes horribly wrong.
It goes bad?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you consider this bad. How do you feel about a new breed of weaponized sharks that end up on Earth with only one mission? Destroy everything in their path. Well, you might be thinking, that sounds ridiculous. How good could it be? Well, how about this? Oscar nominee Eric Roberts will take on the Space Sharks in the new mutant monster movie from Dustin Ferguson, the director of Mega Ape and Cocaine Cougar.
Cocaine
Cougar.
I know everyone's going to focus on those silly movie names, but I haven't heard the name Eric Roberts in a long time.
I'm surprised you haven't. So
is he busy?
Oh my! This year alone, I looked it up because he's in so many things you've never seen.
Yeah,
he has it's like close to 700 projects on IMDb. This year alone, 52.
Whoa.
Dude. Well, I was looking up information on this movie. I couldn't believe it. It's all 2024. He's got 52 different projects coming out this year.
You young folks probably don't even know who the hell Eric Roberts is.
If you saw him, you would. You've definitely seen him.
Star 80? Who's watched Star 80?
I haven't seen that one.
True life story of a Playboy model that got murdered many, many, many years ago. What about the Pope of Greenwich? The Pope of Greenwich Village?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Eric Roberts.
Yeah, he's great. I like him. I like him a lot. And
Andrew Dice Clay used to do a great imitation of Eric Roberts. I wish I could duplicate it, but I can't. That's exciting. It's very exciting.
Kevin Arnold on The Wonder Years. Fred Savage, also the grandson of The Princess Bride and the mole in Austin Powers and Goldmember, 48. Jack White of the White Stripes, 49. Pro wrestler turned actor Kevin Nash, 65.
Turned actor?
Yeah, he's been in like
Magic Mike.
Yeah, Magic Mike movies. John Wick.
Has he been
working? He was
working?
in Rock of Ages.
Oh, sure. I remember he was.
Your favorite movie, The Longest Yard?
Yeah, I think in Rock of Ages, did he not play a bouncer at the bar?
Yes,
anyway, has he been in anything with Eric Roberts?
Probably. I mean, just based on the odds, I wouldn't be surprised. Tom Cruise's flight instructor / lover in Top Gun, Kelly McGillis, 67. Tom Hanks, 68. A hearty way to go to Milwaukee Metrolo Jesus, celebrating 36 years of sobriety today. Congrats, broski. Pale Horse Rider would like to wish his beautiful wife a happy birthday. Happy birthday to 2 pumps and a squeeze, Jesus. And happy 30th to Watch Your Brass, Jesus. That's 93X News.
All-time great broadcaster and Minnesota Twins ambassador, Dick Bremer.
That's a heck of a call right there. Oh, my goodness gracious. There it goes!
On the Half-Ass Morning Show.
See my name appear on the ballot first is an honor in itself. Here we are now in Cooperstown. It's really kind of happened all so fast.
How are you, Randy Shaver?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing just fine. Joining Randy today, his former co-worker, Janel Klein. Former co-worker.
That makes me so sad to say that, Randy.
Off air, you said it was great to get rid of that
Yes.
dead weight.
You talked about how the mood's been better over there. It's like a whole new KARE 11.
Morale is better.
Yeah.
The mood.
Yep.
Some people who left have come back.
Yeah. I have learned never to trust anything Janelle says.
She's too nice. We were just talking about her.
Right.
On
exactly.
air, she called you dead weight.
Yep. Very sneaky. She's
On
very
air,
sneaky.
Suddenly, she's sad. And on Tuesdays, we get to rap about Twins baseball with the damn mayor himself, Dick Bremer. Hello, Dick.
Good morning, everybody.
Thank you for joining us again, Mr. Bremer. How was your Independence Day?
Unique for somebody who spent 40 straight or thereabout 4th of July's at a ballpark. I didn't spend it at a ballpark. I spent it on and in a lake.
Right. Yeah, I think the last time we talked, we mentioned that it had been so long since you've had a 4th of July to yourself. So it must have been kind of strange.
Yeah, but I was able to enjoy it nonetheless, and fireworks and the whole thing. Although, to be honest with you, when you've done Major League Baseball for 40 years, you've had your fill of fireworks a long time ago. It seems like every road trip I was on, somebody had a fireworks show after a game.
Catch some walleyes?
No, I kind of took a little break from that. It wasn't real good, but we're still enjoying the summer. It's been very wet and all that, but it's been a good summer.
We've had a good one, I think, so far as well. So, hey, what you heard there in our intro, Joe Mauer got himself inducted into, this is something that I don't know if I've ever read too much about this. Joe Mauer got himself inducted into the National High School Hall of Fame. Anyone here on the show, have you been inducted into the National High School Hall of Fame?
Still waiting.
Not yet.
I think graduation
from high school.
Yeah, okay.
is a prerequisite. So
you went to high school. That helps your chances.
I might be a future candidate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Joe Mauer has been inducted into what they call the National Federation of State High School Associations Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He was one of 11 inductees in the 20 plus 24 class. I don't know if I'd ever heard of this, but of course, most of us know what an insane athlete Joe Mauer was in high school, football, basketball, and baseball.
Right. Yeah. Well deserved.
And Randy, I know, has a greater appreciation for this than I think anybody because of his great work covering high school sports and all that. But it's not something I don't think we'll ever see again. An athlete in 3 sports excel to the level that Joe excelled. That just doesn't happen anymore with boys and girls now having to specialize, it seems, in one sport or the other. But to do what he did in 3 sports, that's just remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Joe Mauer was the Gatorade Football Player of the Year his senior year, full ride scholarship to Florida State. He was an all-state basketball player. And he was the number 1 pick in the amateur baseball draft.
Jesus.
I mean, think about that. I mean, Dick's right. There likely will never be a 3-sport athlete with those kind of credentials to come out of Minnesota. That was a generational player for sure.
How is he such a nice guy? You know what I mean?
I'd be such a dick.
Yeah,
You know
if I could say those things about myself, I would just be insufferable.
I would say give credit to his parents because I think that's I think that's where it all starts. It's where he grew up and how he grew up and how he was raised. And I think he would give his parents a lot of credit for that too.
Did you see him? Yes, go ahead. Dick.
And when you got a couple of older brothers, that helps suppress your ego.
Keeps you in line. Keeps you in line.
Definitely humbles you.
Yep.
Did they tune him up a little bit? See, okay, football. Everyone heard about what he could do. I remember, I went down to the old Metrodome and watched my alma mater play Wayzata High School. I went to Wayzata. I watched Wayzata play Cretin in I think it was the what do you call it? The state final.
Yeah, yep.
So I saw Joe play football as a high school kid. Heard about the baseball. It's his basketball stuff that you don't hear much about. But yet he was, like you said, all-state, Randy?
He was. He was an all-state basketball player.
Man.
The great trivia question for football, and I think we've said this on this program before, Joe Mauer, his senior year in 2000, threw 41 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. And the only 2 interceptions were by
Marion Barber. Yeah.
From Wayzata. Marion Barber intercept. And one of them, Joe Mauer, I have it on video because we shot that game, but Joe Mauer describes one of the interceptions as the most incredible interception he's ever seen in his life, and it came against him. It was like a down and out pass pattern, a very simple pass pattern that somehow Marion Barber made up incredible amount of ground in a short period of time to make a diving interception on Mauer. But yeah, both interceptions were by Marion Barber.
Yeah, the Barbers were good athletes, man. Good athletes. Yeah, one of my lame claims to fame back when I was 21 some odd years old, driving the Zamboni at Wayzata Ice Arena. The Barber family was in the rink all the time because Marion III, I believe, I have this accurate, Marion III was playing mite hockey, and right in his same age range was Joe Laurinaitis' son. Give me the name, Randy.
Was it
James?
James Laurinaitis, yeah, Jim.
So both James Laurinaitis and the Barber kids, go on to NFL careers.
Oh, yeah. And Laurinaitis was amazing.
And so there's Animal from the Road Warrior tag team, right?
Yeah.
Joe Laurinaitis, the Animal from the Road Warriors. He's in the rink all the time. The Barber family's in the rink all the time. I'm just thinking, wow, this is, and then, when they were tiny little mites, and then eventually that was kind of cool.
And for those who don't know, Marion Barber's father was a great football player for the Gophers.
Yeah.
He played in the NFL, played for the New York Jets. So
right. That Marion,
and Marion's brother Dom played for the Houston Texans.
Right.
So yeah.
Now Marion, the one from the 1970s who played for the Jets, he was part 2, right? And then the next Marion,
I believe you're correct.
Right.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's all really cool.
And you know what? I shouldn't slight the little brother either, because Thomas Barber was a great football player at Armstrong High School and played for the Gophers and was fantastic for the Gophers too. So that whole family is just amazing. So
before we get to specifically talking Twins, I'm really interested in this National High School Hall of Fame now that I read about Joe Mauer going in. Let me give you some of the other names from Minnesota who have made the National High School Hall of Fame. Billy Bye.
Yep. Great Gopher.
All-time great Golden Gopher football player.
That's correct.
Janet Carvinen, of course.
Great basketball player. Yep.
Kevin McHale.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Jerry Seaman.
Yeah, the former Viking, right? No, I'm sorry, the referee.
The former NFL referee.
Referee. I'm thinking of Jeff. Is it Jeff Seaman,
right.
The former Viking?
Yes, you are.
Yep.
Now help me out, because some of these I might not be. Carrie Tollefson.
Carrie Tollefson was a great runner from Lackaparle Valley. She was I think she was an Olympian. Yeah.
Okay. Randy Shaver, Dick Bremer, help me out. I've heard the name a million times, but I never quite got the pronunciation. Is it Paul Geil or Giel?
Paul Giel.
Giel.
Mm-hmm.
Former Twin pitcher, played Golden Gopher football and baseball.
But more importantly, he ended up being the athletic director at the University of Minnesota for many years. He was the one that hired, correct me if I'm wrong, Dick, I think he hired Lou Holtz. I think he was the AD at the time that Lou Holtz came here as the head
I think
football
you're
coach.
right. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine negotiating with Lou Holtz in 1983?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you had to pack a lunch for that.
Paul Giel was a great athlete for the Minnesota Gophers.
Janel Klein, I see you nodding your head. You're familiar with Paul?
I'm not, but I am looking at this list, and I'm excited for these guys to go through it because I don't know who half these people are.
Oh, really? Well, yeah. John Mayasich.
Oh, sure.
Hockey legend, for God's sake. Evelyn, Minnesota. Dorothy McIntyre.
Dorothy McIntyre is the matriarch of girls' sports in Minnesota. She was the one who actually helped implement Title IX in Minnesota to allow girls' sports to take off the way it has. She's still alive. She's a living legend in this state as far as girls' sports is concerned.
Barbara Sang.
That one I don't know.
I knew we'd run
Nor do I.
Okay. I knew we'd run into one or two. Eugene Lefty Wright.
Eugene Lefty Wright. This is how I know Lefty. He is a long time, I think he's retired now, but a long time track official. So I would see Lefty as a starter at the track meet, at the state track meet.
Yes.
So I saw Lefty for years and years at the Minnesota State track and field meets, various locations, but Lefty was always the starter for those meets.
Okay. Willard Eichler.
Well, of course.
My goodness.
Of course.
All-time great at Dyna.
Yes.
Shout out to Willard's daughter, Sarah, and her husband, Doug, who are friends of mine. I see them once in a while at the Wayzata Legion. Bob McDonald, the great high school basketball coach up in, is it Chisholm?
It was up in Chisholm. And, of course, the family tree of coaching from his sons to his grandkids. It's like a tentacle across the state of Minnesota. There's McDonald's coaching all over the place in Minnesota, coaching basketball.
Dick Bremer, you're familiar with Bob McDonald?
Absolutely. Interviewed him many times back in the day when I was doing the high school basketball tournaments, both boys and girls. And, what a legend up there in the range. Just absolutely. You think of the range and you think of hockey, of course, but some pretty good basketball was played up there in the past, too, and the McDonald family responsible for a large part of it.
Cold winters up there in Chisholm, by God, I'll tell you. Imagine coming out the gym all sweaty in the middle of winter in Chisholm. Oh, yeah. You better have a stocking cap on your head. Boy, I went there a few times. They don't. You know what I found out, Cubby, when I went to Chisholm? They don't like 6'1" tours.
Oh, they
there.
don't. I kind of like that disdain for 6'1"
They didn't like a 6'1" tours walking into the tavern. What
is it with you? I mean, you can't go to Maple Lake. You can't go to the whole state's a landmine for you.
That's a great question, Dick Bremer. I don't know what it is. Everyone gets just like they get sideways when I walk into their town. They get uppity.
It is that checkered past.
I don't have the last two names here, as far as Minnesotans in the National High School Hall of Fame, Bronco Nagurski.
Of course.
And Terry Steinbach.
Yeah, wow.
From New Ulm, Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I believe I met him at one of your golf events, Randy.
Terry is fantastic. Dick knows him well, too. I mean, he's one of the great, great guys out there. Yeah.
Have you ever been nominated for this, Randy?
I have not, no.
It's the Minnesota High School Hall of Fame?
No, national.
The national one?
Randy's an Iowegian, of course, but I mean,
I thought you were in your Iowa one.
I am in my high school Athletic Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
No, thank you.
But I feel like you could be in Minnesota just because of all the contributions you've done with
Absolutely. I am in the Minnesota Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. I'm actually being inducted into another one in October, and I don't remember the exact tall letters or name of it.
Boy, it is crowded, the people swinging from Randy's jock.
I'm going in with Dave Nelson and a couple of other people. So
swinging back and forth from Randy's jockstrap.
I tell you what, if I ever got inducted into the Minnesota High School League Hall of Fame, that would be quite the honor for me. That is like the pinnacle for high school people here in Minnesota to go in
We'd
that.
support you all the way. By damn, we would.
That would be awesome.
Show up drunk for the
tailgate in the parking lot.
And then you'd be banned from whatever the location.
Trouble would start there, too. Likely,
exactly.
Yes, trouble would start. Dick Bremer, Randy Shaver, last night's Twins-White Sox game was a damned adventure. It really was. They went back and forth, and the Twins end up winning in extras. 11 innings. They win 8-6. They're now 8-0 against the White Sox this baseball season. But last night's game was really entertaining, especially getting to see Brooks Lee. Dick Bremer, we talked a little bit yesterday about Brooks Lee. We haven't had a chance since he came up to the bigs to talk to you about it. This has been a blast.
Well, a switch hitter. He's got power. And wasn't that base hit in the 11th inning a thing of beauty?
It was.
He drove in what turned out to be the winning run, first and third, nobody out in the 11th inning. He's got 2 strikes on him. And I loved the swing. He was just going to make contact, put it in play someplace. He got a base hit that drove in the run. He's had 24 at-bats in the big leagues, and he has struck out twice, which is incredible for anybody.
Yes.
Much less some guy who just got called up from AAA. And it brings to mind a really important part of this Twin season. They're on a pace right now to win 92, 93 ball games, something like that. Last year, the team struck out in 30% of their at-bats. This year it's 23%, and we're 90-some games into the season. Mm-hmm. That is a huge reason why this team is really on a roll right now, and I still think they're going to catch and pass Cleveland.
Oh, that'd be great.
So, Dick, why do you think there is such the big change? Was it a philosophical change that they started in spring training? How do you go from 30% to 23% in a year's time?
Well, the snide comment is Joey Gallo isn't on the team yet. But, I mean, and they started out pretty poorly, too. I mean, Wallner was with the team, and he was striking out, and, most of his at-bats, and now he's come back an improved player. I do believe, and I'm not as connected as I used to be, but I do believe there's been an organizational shift in terms of what they're trying to do, particularly with 2 strikes, because we see it from Buxton. We see it from Kepler. We see it from some of the veterans and the young guys like Lewis and now Lee as well. But, hey, 2 strikes, we were all told when we were growing up, you got 2 strikes, you got to tone your swing down, put the ball in play.
Choke up.
And we're seeing, we might even see some of that. But it's just a delight to watch because, it used to be if a guy had 2 strikes on him, if you blinked, you'd miss strike 3. Well, now the at-bats are better, and the ball's being put in play, and he didn't hit that ball hard last night by any means in the 11th inning, but it found some outfield grass, and they won the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was with some buddies playing golf yesterday, and we got into this conversation about the Twins.
Next stop, Golf Hall of Fame, I would imagine.
and Mike, I made the comment, and I still stand by this. I don't think Brooks Lee goes back down to the minors ever again. I think Brooks Lee's here to stay. They got to figure out where is he going to play once Royce Lewis is healthy. And maybe it's Lewis that changes positions and Lee stays at third. Dick, what do you think? Because I just don't think this kid is going back. He just looks so damn comfortable. He looks like he belongs, and it's a great thing to watch, and it's a great problem for the Twins to have. But what does the lineup look like if Brooks Lee stays here?
Well, I mentioned he's a switch hitter, so that really is a big benefit for him, right? Sentimentally, and I've had a chance to talk to him a couple of times. Sentimentally, I'd like to see him stay at third base because he was named after his father's favorite player, Brooks Robinson.
Yeah.
And Brooks was a Hall of Fame third baseman. But then what do you do with Royce Lewis?
Royce
short.
Well, he can play outfield,
you got a
too.
guy there who was the American League Player of the Month in June. So, I mean, I agree with you, Randy, but it's a conundrum because I don't, if these guys are all healthy, where are they all going to play?
Well, and you have Julian, who was up here, then sent back down to St. Paul. I wonder if he is now could possibly be the odd man out. It's nice that Castro can play a number of different positions, so he helps you in all sorts of ways. But if Brooks Lee is here to stay, it does makes for some interesting conversation, especially if Miranda keeps playing the way he's playing too, because you got to have him in the lineup every day too. So
he's been crazy lately. Of course, we talked about his his record-tying hit streak, and he's got, I don't know how many games in a row now does he have a hit, 15 or something like that, Miranda?
Well, we all know, those of us who tried to play, it's always been tough. But getting hits is tougher than it's ever been. And to get 12 hits in 12 at-bats, something that had only been done a couple of times in Major League history, you got to find a place to put, Miranda's bat in the lineup, too. With Lee now here, I don't know that we'll see Miranda too much at third base. So I don't know what they do, whether they take one of these guys and put them back in the outfield. But let's hope they all stay healthy, because if they are, this lineup is going to be really, really tough to pitch to.
And the thing about it is, it's young. Other than Kepler, Buck too, but it's a young lineup. It's an exciting lineup, because if they can stick together, this group's going to be around for a while. And if we can just find the pitching to support it, it's going to be great.
I just want to point out, I'm glad you brought up Byron Buxton's name, because kind of in the shadows, if you will, because of Miranda's streak, and now Brooks Lee, Royce Lewis for a while, Correa, the Player of the Month in June. I always thought, even from when I first saw him, that there was a 280 hitter in Byron Buxton. Well, he's hitting in the 280s now, and he had a poor start. But he's toned down his strikeouts, still capable of hitting for power. He scored the second run in the 11th inning last night. They had the infield in, they put the contact play, and they didn't even, throw home because he's so fast still. He's a very valuable player, and he's having, when he's healthy, he's really, providing the Twins a productive bat in the middle of the lineup. It's just he's been overshadowed by so many other guys.
Well, here we are halfway through the season, and he's healthy, and he's playing center field. So it's like a huge lift for this team and this lineup to have him doing what he's doing. And he's not even hitting like 3 through 5. He's hitting 6 in this lineup. So it's pretty impressive.
They got a 26-game home run streak going right now, the Twins do. Tonight, Bailey Ober against Eric Fetty at 7 o'clock there in Chicago. The Chicago White Sox are now 41 games below 500.
Whoa. They're on a pace to win 42 games this year.
Good for them. Oh, man. Hey, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the greater Orange County area have parted ways with Miguel Sano. He's been designated for assignment. He's tried to fight his way into that lineup regularly, but it just isn't working out. They're calling Anthony Rendon back up from the injured list. That guy can't seem to get right.
No, he can never stay healthy.
But, I don't know if Miguel, a guy with power, he'll always get a chance. Well, not always. He'll get another opportunity, don't you think? Or
he's kind of like the right-handed hitting Joey Gallo. I mean, it's feast or famine. You either are going to get home runs from him or you're going to get strikeouts.
I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Well, I got to know him, of course, over a few years. I do like the guy, but I can't think in any sport of any athlete who had the most unfulfilled potential than Miguel Sano. He was supposed to be hitting 4th in this lineup for 10 years.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. And it just didn't work for whatever reason. I'm not smart enough to figure it out, but, I to be honest with you, I'd be surprised if a team gives them another shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and they also say here in this write-up about Miguel Sano, so he was hitting 205. He just had a couple of dongs, 95 plate appearances this season for the Angels, so he wasn't getting in the mix too often. They also say a bizarre off-the-field injury didn't help his case. I missed this. Earlier this baseball season, he left a heat pack on his knee for too long, and he burned himself.
Oh, jeez. Did you pass out?
Jeez.
Anyone ever had that problem?
No.
No? All right. Oh, well, then
But I mean, if that's kind of was his history with the Twins too. It was always really weird stuff. He had a year everybody was ready for him to break out and lead the team to a World Series and all that, and his Dominican team won a championship, and somehow he cut his Achilles tendon on an escalator ride.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he hop out the dugout too quick once, and his knee gave way or something like that?
Well, and one of the crazy plays from 2 years ago, I guess it was, against the Tigers. The Tigers threw the ball away, and the Twins won a game in walk-off fashion, but the whole thing was set up because Sano rounded second, ran to third base with somebody already standing there. And, he was an entertaining player to cover. That's for sure.
Oh, man. All right.
Well, wait a minute. Before Dick goes, I got to find out, what's your batting average right now this summer?
Yeah, we need an update on your ball club.
I tell you what, in the last game, I went 2 for 2 with a walk, and they were rockets. They had an exit velocity, I'm guessing, of 55 miles per hour. We got a doubleheader coming up on Saturday, so
all right.
I hope to be with you next Tuesday, but if I'm not, it's because of the doubleheader on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, and it's going to be a hot one, Dick Bremer.
Oh, man.
21 degrees, yep.
Yeah.
The opposite of Chisholm in February.
If I can find some ice-cold buckhorn, I'll get through the day.
Always a pleasure, Dick Bremer. Good luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
You got it.
Thank you very much. All right. Doubleheader.
Awesome.
Doubleheader, 90 degrees. That's not going to...
I love having him on because I learn something every time he's on.
Yes, you do.
There's just such a knowledge of baseball in general, but Twins baseball in particular. And it's awesome.
I just like having a wise older figure finally on this program. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's one reason why Janel is here. But
do you think I'm old or do you think I'm wise? Which is it?
I think he was commenting on your figure, actually.
You don't have to be old to be wise. What band?
I'm not a lyric guy.
Judas Priest. What else is going on? Thanks for popping by, Janel Klein.
Of course.
Nice to see you.
Great to see you.
We haven't seen you since you took a ride on our big boat party.
Oh, how did that go, by the way?
I thought it went well. We agreed. We talked about it. What day is it today?
Tuesday.
So we talked about it yesterday, our first day back, when we took a little vacation for Independence Day. We mentioned we thought the music was too loud on the boat.
Way too loud.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Other than that, I had a great time. The music was too loud. Agreed, Janelle? Was the music too loud?
But I'm the wrong person to ask. You know that.
Well, I mean, anybody with eardrums should be able to.
You've got a couple of ears.
I didn't say the music was bad. I like Bust a Move by Young MC like anybody else does. But it was too loud. Other than that, did you enjoy yourself, Janelle?
I really did.
Good.
The listeners are hilarious and fun and very nice. And, yeah, it was a good time.
Janelle and I pre-gamed, and I hope you don't mind me saying so, but I saw you whip down 3 Diet Cokes before we got on that.
It's true.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Crazy.
know.
Wow.
I got a little wild.
I thought she was a little extra bubbly.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, she was just, she's riddled with caffeine. She was ready to go.
Man, what a junk.
Did you have a full boat? Was it packed?
It wasn't, because some folks thought maybe that Stillwater was underwater. And I didn't mean to, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Some people thought that it wasn't going to happen because of the flooding. So we weren't elbow to elbow, which was kind of nice. So come on, more flooding.
We're pro flooding on this show.
Or I should say just more flood threats is what I would, because I love a little elbow room, Cubby. You know that.
That was nice. But you're right, that upper deck, it was too loud. Way too loud.
My God. I
Lost
couldn't
my
believe
voice.
you didn't walk up to the the tippy top until right when we
It was
were.
like the last half hour I was up there.
I was surprised to see you there. You never come to the tippy top.
No, I don't like that.
No,
Too hot.
He gets.
And I mentioned somebody or a couple people brought skunks because I kept smelling skunk up top. I don't know what was going on about it.
Oh, boy.
You noticed that too, Janelle?
Oh, yes, I did.
You do have a nose.
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
I felt like I was back in Madison.
Did you? I thought maybe Wiz Khalifa was performing.
Left-handed cigarettes, Randy Shaver.
Yes.
Some folks were smoking those left-handed. Okay, who gives two pumps anymore about the ESPY Awards?
I haven't watched in a long time.
Years.
Not me.
Okay, well, maybe I'll change your mind. I really liked it when it first popped up, and you had the Jim Valvano thing was just one of the most special. Anyway, it's been years since I got myself dialed into the ESPY. Maybe if I tell you all the celebrities who will be making an appearance. It's Thursday night on Channel 5. The celebrities who will be Serena Williams is going to host the show, the tennis star. Serena Williams. Here are some of the folks who will be presenting awards or receiving awards. Or Nikki Glazer, stand-up comedian. And
very
funny. So funny.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
she's
she can
funny.
be hilarious, that's for sure.
I wonder how she'll do on ABC, though.
Yeah, Disney-owned ABC.
Yep, I
Did
don't
you
know
guys
about that.
see her on that Tom Brady roast?
Yeah, she was awesome.
Oh, my God.
She's the roast, she especially shines.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Does she throw a little filth into the mix?
Oh,
did
yeah.
she ever.
And you know what's fun is so she'll go on Howard Stern after these roasts where
Yeah.
anything goes, obviously, and she'll say the jokes she wasn't allowed to tell. I mean, it's something else to listen to those.
You know who else is going to be there? Rob Lowe.
Love Rob Lowe.
I do too.
He's great.
Did you have his poster up in your locker in high school, Janelle? Rob Lowe?
No, I did not.
No?
But you know what? He looks really good.
He hasn't aged a day.
He does not age.
Him and Paul Rudd both.
Yes. Thank you, Dana.
I remember back when he played Soda Pop. What movie?
Outsiders.
The Outsiders. You guys were wrong. Hey, right here from, is it Hopkins, Minnesota? Paige Beckers.
She'll be
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Drew Brees. Get out of my face.
Boring.
Well, I just want to see how much more hair he's got. You know, it's going the opposite of what happens when a gentleman ages.
He does
gets
the
more and
Al
more and more.
Michaels. He's like Al Michaels. Every time you see him, his hairline is different. You know what I mean? Draymond Green. Get this guy out of my friggin' face already. Bryce Young, quarterback for the Carolina Panther. You like him, Randy Shaver?
He seems like a nice young guy.
You know who else is going to be there? I bet you Brad Lowe's aware of this. Not Brad Lowe. Sorry.
Rob Lowe?
I bet you Rob Lowe is aware of this next guest. Lindsey Vaughn.
That Lindsey Vaughn.
I bet you Rob Lowe knows that she's going to be there, and I bet she knows that Rob Lowe is going to be there. And I bet they become the hot new couple. You heard it here first.
Well, she's been a part of some celebrity couplings.
Rob Lowe and that Lindsay. Glorilla. Does anyone know Glorilla?
No.
The award-winning rapper?
It says here he's an award-winning rapper.
He's an American musician.
Allen Iverson.
Oh, I love him.
Nick Saban. What up? Come on.
I love Nick Saban.
I know you do. I don't know
That's
why.
a hell of a guy, that Nick Saban.
Isn't he something?
Yeah.
Venus Willem, that would be Serena's sister. This ruined it. This ruined it right here. Andy Reid.
Oh, it didn't ruin it. That doesn't
ruined
ruin it.
He's a three-time Super Bowl
That
champion.
doesn't ruin it.
I don't even care if Rob Lowe and Lindsey Vaughn get together now. I don't. Because Andy Reid's going to, look at him. He's so lovable.
I thought Andy Reid was dating Taylor Swift.
He loves cheeseburgers.
He does love cheeseburgers.
Backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy.
Oh,
very nice.
And, wow, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Wow. How old is Sugar Ray now?
Would he be 70?
Wow.
Someone look up the age of Sugar Ray Leonard. Maybe pound for pound, the greatest fighter the world's ever seen.
68.
68
years old. Back to Serena Williams, who will be hosting the ESPYs. It says here now, anyone ever had this problem? She once tried and failed to deposit a $1 million check at a bank's drive-thru.
I got my check and it was $1 million. I went through the drive-thru and I was like,
You had to deposit $1 million.
The guy was like, I think you need to come inside for this. And I was like, okay.
Man,
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's an awesome problem.
Wow.
When they asked me to come inside, it's for very different reasons. Sir, you owe us a lot of money.
Dana, why don't you sit down?
Sir, can you come inside, please? And it's usually a security guard that says it to you.
Yeah.
Dana, have they waved you in when you're in the drive-thru?
There's a security guard, a grief counselor, a priest.
My parents are there. It's just one big intervention.
Dad's just shaking his head no. So disappointed. Single tear rolling down his cheek.
So this Serena Williams says, when she and her sister first started raking in the big bucks at these tennis tournaments, they just didn't know what the hell. They weren't equipped to be handed $1 million checks. They didn't, like most of us, she didn't really know what the hell to do. She thought she could just deposit it at the drive-thru. But instead they said, no, you got to come inside for something like that. It reminds me of that scene from The Jerk when Steve Martin thinks he's depositing a check for $750 or $200. Thinks he's depositing a check for $250, but instead it's $250 dollarinis. 250 donuts. 250 big ones. If you know the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what else is to be said here. There are some stories in front of me this morning, sports related, that are hard to explain. Has anyone here ever heard of Janelle, did you ever try out for the Merlympics?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I didn't until yesterday either. It's Olympics for mermaids.
Sweet.
Oh, man.
Okay, all right.
But now that you explain it, I'm surprised Janelle hasn't signed up for that.
We all know how athletic I am, first of all.
You put on a mermaid set of legs, like you're a fish.
Yeah.
You turn yourself into a fish from the waist down. You know how the mermaids do it.
Yep.
And then you swim your ass off. Some lady became the fastest mermaid ever at the most recent Merlympics. Okay?
An American won it all.
USA.
Yeah.
USA. Is she an American citizen?
She is.
Her last name, Mia Sim. She's 22 years old. This is all quite overwhelming. It took me a couple times to read through this to fully understand what's happening. But they throw on the mermaid suit and then they swim around.
I have a lot of questions about this.
Oh, go right ahead. I'll try my best.
This ought to be good.
I mean, so first of all, what is the tail made of? Is it just like you don't use your
It's
legs?
real mermaid. It's authentic mermaid.
A lot of mermaids had to die
in order for the tail to be created.
In order for us humans to we slide ourselves into their dead carcass. I don't know what it's made of. If that was covered in the story, I missed it.
It doesn't say.
Well, what if it's just like a giant rubber fin and you can go really fast?
That sounds like that's pretty much what it is.
That's what it looks like.
Or is it just like fabric or something where your legs are taken
Oh,
out of
Janelle,
the
you are thinking way too deep
It
on
looked
this.
like it was like some sort of rubberish material.
I mean, I want to see
Wow.
this. Do I need to Google Merlympics?
You can just borrow mine. It's very flattering.
Go ahead. Google it. There are 5 events at the Merlympics, the Olympics for mermaids. You dive on down to the bottom of the lake or something, and you retrieve as much trash as possible from the bottom. That's one task you have to do while wearing your mermaid outfit. Underwater posing. You dive down to the bottom of the lake and you pose for a picture.
I did that when I was a kid.
You swim and rescue a dummy. Swim down to the bottom and rescue a dummy. And then you race also along the top of the water. It's a 50-meter race. mermaid or merman. There are both.
Merman.
There are both. I didn't mean to make it sound like it was only lady. Mermaids or mermen can compete. And this gal here from America, Mia Sim, she's the fastest by damn to ever do it.
Whole wide world.
Man. It says she found someone in Canada to make her tail for her. I know, and I don't know what it was made out of. But she says she had a great time, just a wonderful time.
It's pretty funny when she won, she wrapped herself in the American flag. I mean, she went for it.
Like Rocky.
Exactly.
All right. It's effing annoying that so many sports websites cover the NFL in July. Like Randy and I said a few weeks ago, it's effing baseball season. The NFL needs to leave us alone for a while, but they won't. And websites eat this stuff up. To further aggravate things, this here story about Joe Burrow, Janel Klein.
Janelle just woke up.
Yep.
Your little boy toy.
Well, the last time we heard of him, he was wearing a backless suit at some European fashion.
He looked like a jackass.
That was really stupid.
He and that kid here from the Vikings,
Justin Jefferson.
They look like jackasses at a fashion show. This here story about Joe Burrow, Janelle's little boy toy. She would tear him to shreds if she had the chance. The Bengals quarterback, of course. This story touches on an old story that wasn't even that damn interesting in the first damn place 20 years ago, but here in Minnesota, we just can't let it go. We can't. And trust me, a lot of Minnesotans who are sort of listening right now, they're going to perk up because for whatever reason, they can't get enough of this. Joe Burrow wants to bring back one of the most infamous touchdown celebrations in NFL history. He says if he scores a rushing touchdown this year, he'll do the fake moon the crowd celebration that Randy Moss did as a member of the Vikings in the playoff.
Randy Moss, fake moon to the crowd. If I get a rushing touchdown this year, I might bring back the fake moon. It's got to be on the road, though.
Do it against Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm not mad at Joe Burrow. I'm
Can't
not.
do that.
Because he's just trying to find something interesting to say, you know.
Right.
But why, oh God, why can't Vikings fans turn the page on that friggin' stupid bit that Randy Moss did 20 years ago?
You see it on T-shirts and things all the time these days.
I love the T-shirts. Those are hilarious.
It was the moment Randy Shaver and Janel Klein that made Joe Buck public enemy number one in this town.
Oh, yeah.
Because he didn't like Randy Moss' bid. And some Viking dorks in this town still won't forgive Joe Buck for that. They just still won't forgive him for that.
You know, I hear the Randy Moss thing, and it's kind of a cloud that follows me around when I'm up here. And I know people think about it, and I get it. I hear that back, and it kind of gives me a little bit of a jolt because I'm like, man, I can't believe that that's what came out of my mouth. But I have to live with that. But it feels a little over the top. It's just how you react in the moment. If it were today, I think in a different atmosphere, I don't think those words would have come out of my mouth.
It's so silly.
It really
He
is.
shouldn't have to explain himself. Or something.
By the way, wasn't that just? I think that was just last year.
Yeah.
He's, after all, this
Actually, though, give him credit for at least recognizing that.
Well,
and I think that's
he didn't have to, but sure, I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
It's incredible. You can still walk into a bar during a Vikings game, and someone will say they don't like Joe Buck. Of course, it happens constantly around. And you say, why? Well, you know, the Randy Moss. And I just say, here we go again.
Right.
When we go in there, the fans, the people tailgating, they're talking so much crap. Before they put the new locker rooms and all that stuff, it's probably about 10 white asses sitting over there over the hill. They got all their pants down. It's nothing but white moons, just all lined up. Man, I scored that game winner touchdown, Tommy Kramer. My mindset was like, dude, I'm not going to pull my pants down. I'm just going, fake moon them.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was all in fun, with the game. Boy, they'd have hit me for that $30,000, $40,000.
Randy Moss still talking about it. It's just unbelievable. Nobody, of course, wants to acknowledge that, let's say Brent Favre would have done that same mooning routine here in Minnesota while he was a Packer.
Oh, boy.
Vikings fans would have called for him to be arrested on sight. But one of our guys did it at Lambeau, so it's the greatest comedy bit ever.
and needs to be acknowledged as such until the end of time.
I want Joe Burrow to be above all that.
You sound like a disappointed mother.
Oh, my God. It's Mama Janelle.
Yes.
That was the perfect way to close out that subject. I also want him to be above all this. Because, Janelle, because you think he's better than that.
Yes. That's why I like him, because I always said he was cool. It's not like a crush thing. It's like I like him because he just seems cool.
Right. But
what about that backless outfit he was wearing?
Well, that wasn't cool, but all
That was a stumble?
Yeah, maybe a little.
Your motivation for him steering clear of this is because you think he's better than that. My motivation for him steering clear of this is because if he does it, then it's going to start all over again.
Yep.
All over again. So there you go. Oh, God. All right, Randy Shaver.
Yes.
After today, after we're done here, you're going to start loading up the wife and packing your bag. You're heading out of town. Tomorrow, we will get some hints from Randy, try to guess where he's going on this summer's road trip. It's going to
Where is Waldo?
Yes.
Where is Waldo?
Where's Wendy, we'll call it.
Yeah, Wandy.
Where's
Wandy?
So, good luck with the driving.
Yeah, I enjoyed car trips. You guys know that. We've taken a lot of them.
Well, they haven't been very kind to you lately. That was different, but no.
People have been concerned, wondering if you got to replace your Thunderbird.
I did not.
They know how much you love it.
You got like an old Chevy wagon or something?
I can't. No,
family truckster.
I have a family truckster.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do. So I can't pull the trigger on that. I just it's a mental block with me right now. I just can't do it. So
I get it, dude. I get it. Good luck, and we look forward to hearing from you tomorrow.
Janelle, always great to hear from you.
I miss you already, Randy.
Well, thank you, Mama Janelle.
You're the second coolest guy I know, next to Joe Burrow.
Oh, boy. There you go, Nick.
There's no one between Joe Burrow and Randy Shaver? What has happened to cool men?
By the way, can I share a cool moment from yesterday?
Yes.
So I'm at the golf course with three buddies. We're up at the Classic in Madden's, which is a fabulous golf course. It's just great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful day, gorgeous day. We pull up to the 17th tee box, which is a par 3. And the group in front of us, the woman in the group, makes a hole-in-one.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
That's awesome.
Makes a hole-in-one. She's celebrating. Her son is there. Her son is there. Her husband's there. She makes a hole-in-one. And so when we pull up, we all raise our hands like, oh, congratulations. That's awesome. She turns around and she goes, I've been wanting to stop and talk to you. She runs past her husband and runs up the hill and hugs me before she even hugs her husband. And she made the hole-in-one. And the guys I was playing with were going, oh, my God, that was amazing.
Then in the end, you might be the second.
Yeah. So
take that back.
So there is proof, Janelle.
You
don't
are
feel bad.
I don't.
Still a pimp, Randy. Always a pimp. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.
All right, we'll have more with Janelle when we come back.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
It's kickoff time, and Believe podcasts are here to get you ready for the season.
This team, they looked to figure it out, and they said, okay, we got a shot at this thing.
With Believe, you get immediate reactions, game previews, and expert analysis from all 32 teams, plus all of your favorite college teams.
This is a true junior that we're talking about.
Sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone.
The running was good. His size is unbelievable.
Just search Believe. That's BLEAV podcast, wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Here we are. It is 8:35
here on the 93X Half-Fast Morning Show, or anywhere else in town, I guess, for that matter. Television star Janel Klein is sitting right there. Jungle Jane's in studio. Hi, Janelle.
Hello.
Janelle, a lot of people want us to break the news.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard this or not. Your boy Wapple is a single man.
Wobble.
Exactly how I knew you'd say it.
And he lied to you on the boat for whatever reason. He didn't want to tell you. Apparently, you mentioned you had a dream.
Yes.
Which kind of coincided with this, and he held that information for some reason.
When you told me that story, I literally got goosebumps and chills. I was like, that was so weird.
You'll have to explain the dream, Janelle.
Did you guys talk about this on the radio
Just
yet?
this morning, he broke the news.
Okay.
It's awesome news.
Well, this is weird. I mean, to no one's surprise, I don't dream about Wapple regularly.
Darn it.
Well, it's
Nobody does.
surprising.
Janelle, those are called nightmares.
However, literally the night before the boat cruise, what day was that, on a Friday? So
Yeah.
Thursday
Yeah.
night, I don't know why, I had the most restless night of sleep, and I had this dream that Wapple called me in a panic, and he couldn't make his rent. He said, I don't have anywhere to live. I can't pay my rent. Can you help me? And I was, you know how in dreams you're always running and chasing? So I was running to the bank I said, Wapple, I can help you. Running to the bank to get money and trying everything I could to get it to Wapple before he got kicked out of his apartment. You wake up and it's so real, you think it happened. And so then I see him, the very next day, and I see him on the boat, and I said, Wapple, I have to tell you, this is so weird. But I had a night-long dream about trying to give you money for rent.
Don't get any funny ideas over there, Wapple.
Can somebody analyze this? Do we have any psychologists?
I don't know. You're just a concerned
worried about
friend.
Wapple.
I think maybe you're so empathetic, you picked up that he had recently broke up with his girlfriend and had to move out.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're just such a nice person. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
He dumped this really exciting news on us right away this morning. I'm absolutely pumped for the kid. He was able to kick and fight his way through another terrible relationship, and now he's a free man again. We're going to go chasing down foxy ladies this summer, he and I together.
Wait a minute. Can I be your wing woman?
Yeah, you want to come with?
I just want to watch this happen.
Yeah, it's going to
You
be.
would be what a wing woman she would be.
Oh, perfect.
We got everything covered. I can talk about the 70s and 80s. Wapple can talk about whatever happened after that. We'll have old women, young women, everything in between. There'll be, yeah.
Can you imagine this, Wapple? Some guy, girls, guys, whatever you're into. I don't even know what you're into. They come up to you and they're asking, well, who's the blonde sitting next to you? Like, oh, my God. Yeah, I'm sorry about her. She is obsessed with me.
Yeah, she cannot get away from me.
Yeah.
She's even dreaming about me.
Yeah, right. She dreams about me. She always wants to be around me.
Are you creeped out yet, Wapple?
Can you imagine the clout you'd get if you turned that down? That's your move. And Janelle can go along with it.
Wapple, it is weird how entertained I am by you, and now I'm dreaming about you. What does this say about me?
You love Wapple.
I do love him.
Hey, Wapple, good for you, kid. You did the right thing.
Yeah.
You did the right thing.
Wapple, we just want you to be happy. We love you.
Agreed. And we were concerned when we first found out the news, but he seems to be doing great.
And Wapple,
So there you go.
I'm here for you. If you need rent money, you know how to reach me.
She's got that TV money.
Yeah.
Oh, you never let that kid know you got more than $10 in your pocket. He'll try to get it out from under you faster than you can say Jack Robinson.
Welding Jesus is single from the hours of 6 to 4:30 if you're interested.
Every morning, every day, 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
She's good to go.
Well, that's just great. I'm very excited for you.
College football official Jesus also says he's single and he wants to go slay some fly honeys together.
A word. All right, so Janel Klein sitting in with us this morning. If you ask me, and I know Josh is going to agree, well, we'll all agree. Janel Klein, the perfect example of a nice Midwesterner.
Yeah, you are as nice as you seem.
Thanks,
Perfect
you guys.
example of a nice, just a honest to goodness, nice person, nice Midwesterner. We have the reputation for being more polite than other areas of the country. We do, right? Minnesota, nice, and other areas in the Midwest. And I don't know. I think that is a real fact. I do.
For sure it is.
I do.
I do as well.
East Coast people, dicks.
They do seem a little self-absorbed.
I have problems with other people from other parts of the country. I have had problems. I don't know. I don't like the way they operate.
Don't forget other countries.
Other countries, of course, all over the world, everywhere but here.
Other cities in Minnesota.
Yeah. But I think it's a true deal. So, but is it really true? Just because I say it's true doesn't mean jack squat. Is it really true? Someone polled 2,000 Midwesterners to finally effing find this out. Are we really nicer than folks from other parts of the country? Now, it says here they didn't poll people in other areas of the country, so there's no way to do an apples-to-apples comparison. But here are some good-mannered things, okay? And how many Midwesterners do the things that I'm about to bring up? How many Midwesterners do these good-mannered things? And everyone, of course, sound off, because we're all born and raised Minnesotans, Midwesterners. Okay. Do you apologize when you've done nothing wrong?
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
The guilt sometimes can be overwhelming, even when you've done nothing wrong. Like if somebody thinks you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Or if you think that maybe they would think you did something wrong.
I don't know that I apologize when I do nothing wrong.
I mean, have you been accused of something and just decided, okay, I'll take the blame or whatever?
Oh,
just didn't want to fight back?
No. Fighting back is one of my favorite things in the world to do.
Or I'm sure people have told you plenty of times, Nick, you'll say sorry and someone will be like, oh, no, they're like, oh, it's not your fault. There's no need to apologize if you do something or.
Okay. Apologize when you've done nothing wrong. 74% of Midwesterners say they do it regularly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I probably apologize for something every day. Just habit at this point.
64% of us wave to people that we don't know.
Oh, do it all the time.
What do you mean you do it all the time?
All the time.
Yeah.
Depends on the situation.
What are you talking about? When do you wave to people that you don't know?
Like they'll be cutting the grass or something. They'll be walking down a street and I'll wave to them. Hello.
Yeah, a little friendly
Nice
wave.
little wave. My boyfriend gets mad at me if I miss somebody. If we're in the car together and I miss a wave to somebody. And he's like, oh, well, now that person's going to think we're assholes. I doubt they're going to think about me, but now I feel bad. I want to pull over and apologize.
There's a gentleman in my neighborhood. He and I'm assuming his wife. They walk every day. I see him every day, and he always waves, and with such enthusiasm. The first time I was asked my wife, like, do we know that guy? Like we wave, he waved, but he does it in a way like he's really happy to see us.
That's sweet.
Okay.
And then I noticed though that his wife never waves. But then I thought if she did, it might be kind of weird if both of them are waving at us, don't you think?
Then it looks like maybe they belong on a parade float.
Yeah, like something's a little off.
Yeah.
Both of them were, so I think in a relationship you need a waiver and somebody who's not a waiver. Ashley, maybe you're not the waiver.
Maybe I'm not the waiver. That's a good point.
We're going through little traits, little things that Midwesterners do. That's looked at as more polite than other areas in the country. Janelle, do you wave to people? I will nod if there are certain situations where I might nod. I'm not going to wave at someone that I don't know. Maybe I'll nod. I don't know if that counts.
What about if you're like outside, you're in your lawn or in your driveway and somebody drives by, would you give them a little wave? I always do that.
If it's a regular neighbor that I see, someone from the neighborhood that I see often, yes. If it's a car I don't recognize, no.
Do you just mean mug them?
Sometimes you gotta set the tone, right?
Yeah.
Let them know you're there.
Whose neighborhood this is.
Do you wave at people that you don't know?
I do.
Okay.
And then, like, if I'm in the elevator or something, I'm always like, good morning, or hi, or, I greet people.
Yeah, okay, so
passing someone in the hall or something you don't know.
Something else that I guess we Midwesterners do that's very nice that I guess people in other parts of the country don't, and they're dicks. hold doors for strangers? Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do that move where the person's a little bit too far behind, but I'm holding the door, and then they feel the need to kind of hustle.
Everybody has that problem.
I also stand in the eye of an automatic door just to make sure it's open for them when they come up.
Everybody does this.
That'd be so creepy if someone did that.
I'm kidding. I've never done that in my entire life.
I was just imagining like if somebody did that to me.
Yeah, I would have 9 and 1 dialed on my phone.
It says here 55. Remember, only Midwesterners were polled for this survey. Only 55% of Midwesterners claim they hold doors for strangers. That surprises me.
I would think that'd be up in the 74%, like the apologize when you've done nothing wrong.
I think if you don't hold the door for somebody, you're a prick.
Yeah, I agree.
I really hate the door situation we have here because there's 3 doors you have to go through to get back here.
Oh, yeah, like when you're letting the UPS guy in or something?
Or like you're walking next to someone, so, okay, I'll get this door, and then they get the other door, and then it's like, all right, well, I have to race to get the last door for them.
That's so true.
And you know what else? If you have a door held for you and you don't say thank you, you're a prick.
Yeah, screw you.
You are.
I'd say I only get a thank you about 50% of the time.
I don't get it. Why are you not thanking people for that? There are some... Anyway, go ahead, Janelle.
Well, I was going to say, like, how Wapple's describing the security doors. What I think is the worst is, like, we get in trouble at certain buildings that I work in. You can't hold the door for people. Right?
So you gotta shut it in front of them?
Right, because you have the key pass, and they're, like, you have to be very
It's a
concerned
security thing.
Exactly, right? So if you let someone in and they haven't waved their key, you can get in huge trouble.
Oh.
So you have someone coming behind you.
So sometimes Janelle has to be a dick.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's terrible. I don't want to be rude, but I also don't want to get in trouble.
But I know what you got to size up the situation. For example, like coming in here, if somebody's holding a lighter and a gas can, I'm letting them in.
There are
you have to be
certain
very
situations.
discerning. Back to the waving thing. I always give a courtesy wave if somebody lets me in. When you're merging into traffic.
I hate when people don't give it back. I want to cut them off.
Well, sometimes
race
they don't
around
see
them and
it.
get in front of them again.
I will wave if someone lets me cut it, right? But if they don't wave back, I don't have a problem with it because they are driving a motor vehicle. They don't need to be paying attention. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Sometimes they don't see you. I imagine they don't see. All right. Again, let's check and see. We'll get back to this in a minute. We're checking to see, are we Midwesterners really as nice as everyone says we are? We'll get back to this in a couple minutes on the program.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you're right. It's a half-assed morning show. Plus, Janel Klein. We got a few minutes left before we bolt. Are we Midwesterners really as nice as stupid idiots from other parts of the country say we are? That's what we're going to figure out here, I guess. Someone polled 2,000 barrel-chested, hot dish-eating Midwesterners to find this out. So, here are some good-mannered things, nice little things that we can do for one another, and how many of us Midwesterners do them. Things like apologize when you've done nothing wrong. 74% of Midwesterners say they do it regularly. Wave to people you don't know. Hello. 64% of us say we do that. Hold doors for strangers. Only 55% of us claim they do it. I think it's a must. Here are some other.
Well, going back to the apologizing for things that you didn't do.
Yes.
Here's an example. And this is for Bricked My Pants Jesus. I've been in this spot. Like when a cashier will hand you a receipt and they drop it, you apologize, right?
Yes.
Yep.
When it comes to miscommunication, sometimes I'll apologize when I know that wasn't on my side at all. That was the other person wasn't paying attention or didn't fully read a text.
Interesting scenarios.
Yep. Oh, the receipt. That's a great way to put it.
Because you just don't want the other person to feel bad. So you'll take responsibility.
Here are a couple texts. Before we get to the rest of these good-mannered things and how many of us do them regularly, got a text from an Iowegian. Janelle, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much trouble in general are Iowegians?
I mean, I've never had any trouble, but I'm excited to hear this because when you brought this up, I thought, are we nicer than other Midwesterners, right?
My mother is an Iowegian, don't you know?
Okay.
So my grandma on my dad's side also.
Are we nicer than Iowegians? Are we nicer than the whole lot of the Midwest? I don't know. Here's what this Iowegian says. It's Minnesota fake nice. Okay. You guys are so passive-aggressive. I'd rather be ignored than have someone be fake with me.
I don't think,
I'm
we're passive aggressive,
nice.
and I'm sorry you feel that way. By the way, interesting. That's interesting.
Oh, I've heard that. You guys have all heard that scenario before, that we're passive-aggressive, we're fake nice.
Yeah.
He just didn't need to say it so loudly.
Yeah.
I usually mean
there's
it
some
when
of that.
when I'm asking people how they are, random strangers. I usually mean it.
I do my best not to be passive aggressive.
All right, one other text message, and then we'll get to the...
I like to be outright aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Minnesotans outside the metro are nice. Oh, God. Well, you never met a pack of dicks up north?
Yeah, let's be real. Come
on. If you're outside the metro, you're nice. You ever heard of a town called Maple Lake? All right. Here are some more good-mannered things, and how many of us Midwesterners do them. Bring a shared dish to a party.
Oh, yeah.
I do
I've
when
reached
it's
that age.
I don't know how to cook, so
certainly.
no, I haven't done that. I don't know how to cook. 73% of us bring a shared dish to a party.
You know what, Josh? Sometimes I didn't know when to bring a dish, and it's like the older I get, the more I just know when I'm supposed to.
You get a feeling for it, don't you?
Yeah.
80% of us smile at strangers. They'll smile.
Of course.
You know what happens to me, Janelle?
What's that?
I'll smile at a stranger, and then they lick their lips.
Ow.
Yeah.
Dude, creepy.
Yeah, I know. See, I've stopped smiling at strangers. Because they usually wag their tongues at me and stuff like it's terrible. You know that slow lip licking, Josh?
Oh, I've perfected it.
They do that. All right, they don't really do that. 59% of us tip well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Try to.
I try my damnedest. Sometimes my arithmetic isn't too strong. If I ever don't tip well, it's because I'm struggling with the arithmetic.
Yeah, or because I can't see the phone.
Yeah, you got to get on the tip calculator on your phone.
The tip calculator. I've never heard of a tip.
Yeah, it's a new thing.
How do you spell that? T-I-P.
Yeah, I think you need some like foreign numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
Batman symbol.
Speaking of tongues, yours got stuck to the roof of your mouth as you tried to say calculate.
It got stuck to the top and the bottom at the same time.
Oh, my God.
That was impressive.
Now lick your lips and look at me.
That was weird.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
What?
I'm not going to do this. I'm not getting involved in this. Here's another nice, good-mannered thing that we Midwesterners are known for, I guess. You help a neighbor out with a chore.
I just did that
sure.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Did you? Did you help somebody out?
We helped the neighbors out.
Janelle, do you say, I'll rake that yard for you?
I never see my neighbors, so
No.
I don't know. I mean, I would.
I was in a conundrum over the weekend because my neighbors have been out of town for a while, and I was mowing my lawn, and I thought maybe I'll mow their lawn for them so I don't have to worry about it when they get back.
Oh.
But then I know some people are very particular about
they
it.
are.
Yep,
Yeah.
And
be
they're the
careful.
nicest people in the world. I can't imagine they would be, but that was the thing because I've done that. I did that once for a neighbor, and he was pissed. And I'm a pro. I used to mow lawns for a living. I think I'm pretty good at it. But yeah, he wants to mow his own lawn.
Well,
He acted like I slept with his wife.
When we were when I was living in Woodbury, like no one would ever get groceries. I noticed. I was like, how do these people get groceries in the house? I never saw them.
I got
And
suckered.
I'm like, I'm always bringing in Target bags, Cub bags, all this stuff. What are you guys doing?
I got suckered real bad once helping a neighbor do a chore. This is many years ago. Neighbor guy, older guy, and I knew him pretty well. One day he says, hey, my wife took the pickup to work, and he had his fishing boat in the driveway. He said, would you mind pulling my fishing boat out the driveway and bring it into my backyard? I'm going to do this and that to the fishing boat. Sure. So I hooked his boat up to my pickup, and I pulled it into his backyard, and I got out of my pickup, and he says, can you grab those batteries there and put them up in the boat? Okay. Now, I got a trolling motor. Can you? All right. We'll see you later. Hey, my tackle box is in the garage. Can you grab my tackle box, bring it into the boat? Next thing you know, I'm rigging lines for the guy. What else did I do? I'm putting I'm screwing chairs in.
I've got family members like that. If they invite you over, there's going to be a to-do list.
It was 2 hours.
Since you're here.
I didn't know that I applied to work at a marina this afternoon. All he asked me. Anyway.
Zelda Master Jesus says he wears this shirt with pride. A T-shirt that says, keep Minnesota passive-aggressive. Or not. Whatever you think is best.
We will give strangers directions. 80% of us will do that. Oh, I did that once, and then after they pulled out, it was at a gas station, straight cliche type out of a movie thing. I'm at a gas station, someone walks up, I'm not familiar with this neighborhood. How do I get to Orono or whatever? And I said, you go this way, that way. And then after they left, I realized I pointed them in the exact wrong direction.
Oh, no. Yep, that's happened to me a couple times.
I got to be honest with you, that felt kind of funny.
Yeah.
That felt kind of hilarious to me. We obey the speed limits around here. That's what it says.
Well, I always go 4 over so the cop doesn't think I'm a nerd. That's kind of my plan.
So that's sweet spot?
Or up to something, one of the two.
So they crunched all these numbers, and according to the results, Janelle, maybe we have an answer to your question. Are we Minnesotans even nicer than the rest of the Midwesterners? Maybe I have
according to
this. According to the results, the nicest city to live in the Midwest is St. Paul. The nicest state is also Minnesota. And 2 cities are in the top 5. I mentioned St. Paul, and then you got Minneapolis.
Good for us.
So we are.
Okay.
We friggin' are the champions of nice.
What are the other ones? Like, they're also in the Midwest?
Yes,
Okay.
the top 5 nicest cities in the Midwest from 5 to 1. Des Moines, Iowa. Then you got Minneapolis. Naperville, Illinois. Overland Park, Kansas. And then St. Paul. We win again. Something completely dorky. We win everything dorky in the Midwest. The rudest cities were, Evansville, Fort Wayne, Rockford, Columbus, Ohio, Detroit. Who cares? So there you go.
I agree with that. I think we're nice.
And we're doing our best.
Yeah.
Sure, we
I
might
think
get a little...
The effort is there.
The effort is there.
Maybe not on
Definitely.
the road sometimes.
Maybe we're a little pissy and passive-aggressive now and again. Give us a break. We make the effort in the first place.
That should count for something.
Yeah,
don't
that'll
you
count
think?
for some. Count for some damn thing. Janel Klein, thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
And, feel free to stop by anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wapple might need a shoulder to cry on.
Wapple, I'm here for you.
Thanks, Janelle.
You're always
Always.
Oh, be careful.
Shoulder, money, whatever
Right,
it is.
whatever you need.
While he's crying on your shoulder, he lifts your pocketbook.
Nightblood Jesus checked in with a shout out. We got a new member of the Brotherhood. His son Asher was born yesterday. Congrats. Happy birthday to Kai from Mom and Dad. Keystone Light Jesus. They're on a road trip to the Dells. Blacktop Mojo Mofo Granddaddy O Jesus texted a happy belated birthday wish to his stepson Jesse. And happy birthday to Crow Wing Auto Body Jesus from Wade Rick 83 on TTV Jesus. Have a great Tuesday.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.